There we go. There we go.
There it is.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just Andy now.
Preferences.
The titular Andy must be in attendance for this to actually be an official meeting. There he is.
When we've got the issues, we just need Andy.
Absolutely. No shortage there. And ask to unmute.
There he is.
Unmuted.
Side by
There it is.
Andy.
Oh,
Oh man, we're both wearing yellow shirts.
shit.
It's okay
just
because you're cross your kitty corner,
Right,
so it
right.
doesn't look
Okay.
like it's a team.
Oh, you're both on the
It looks like
bottom
we're
to me.
playing
It looks
Foursquare.
silly.
Yeah, I'm on top of him on my look, so it
You
doesn't
got.
look
I can
weird.
tell just from the top. That's the fuck. I can't think of the pitcher's
Doc
name.
Ellis?
Doc Ellis.
Yeah.
No hitter on
Nice.
acid.
Oh yeah.
Also,
That
That
was a
is,
great
um,
documentary.
yeah.
that's the-
Also commemorated in a Todd Snyder song. He did a
Also,
song.
it's the style of a Dylan poster.
That's
Yeah.
where it's probably.
Yeah, where Dylan has that wavy hair, and I just found out because we were at the Leon Russell. We were in Tulsa, and Jeff Tate. I talked to him, and he goes, "Yeah, you should go to that Leon Russell's recording studio." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, it's an old church." So we just went there, and it was fucking awesome. There were people recording there. They let you in to like cruise around. And he bought it in 1972 for $12,000. Tom Petty signed a contract across the street. All these people were through there. And there's that picture, just like that one you're wearing, Erickson. But it's a poster of Bob Dylan. And in the waviness of his hair is the word Elvis. And I've seen that picture a bajillion times. I never
Good.
noticed it.
Yeah.
I'll see if I
well,
can find a picture of it.
Bob Dylan never pitched a no-hitter, so
That's
Okay.
true.
that I know
Wait.
of. Maybe he did.
Yeah, he could have done some minor league
He's
ball.
still alive, though, so there's still chance.
Yeah,
That's a chance. That's true. He could still do it.
he's still. I'll bet. Well, I mean, maybe I'm reading something into it, but if you ask Bob Dylan, did you ever pitch a no hitter at all? He'd be maybe honest about it, but it seems like anymore that's like a throwback because you can ask somebody, "Did you do that shit?" and they'll tell you some big elaborate fucking story how it's the opposite of that, and they're actually full of shit. It's like it's not a good time to be kind of stupid or naive about shit or just get suckered. If you get suckered, this is the worst time to be alive.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Cheers,
stupid
everybody.
seems to be running amok right now and getting by with a lot.
I was gonna double down and tell you guys, fuck, it's 22 or it's 2022. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm just gonna flat out say, Bob Dylan is actually Nolan Ryan. You guys don't know this, but he has pitched no hitters.
A lot of no-nos. Oh, yeah.
And he beat the
that's-
fuck out of Robin Ventura
Yeah.
too.
He even says it in some of his songs. Hey, pitch no hit. You go, whoa, slow that down. He's admitting it. It's in all his songs. That's not a bad.
Yeah, that's like the.
I mean, it's a
look,
terrible.
nobody knows all the verses in Tangled Up in Blue. If you actually listen to that song, the 15th verse is about them sweeping a 3-game series against the Phillies back in 73. And it's pretty impressive stuff. He had a lively fastball and a cutter. He threw a cutter, which is a variation of a slider.
That does make sense because I remember the umpire called strike 2, tangled up in blue.
Yeah, oh man.
Oh,
Holy shit. Chad Shank does a whole
this is the
baseball
problem.
album.
This is that problem. I would like to apologize to everyone watching and listening.
No, oh man, that's right.
I resisted the urge to try a Bob Dylan impression
Just-
when it started because I
My
knew
Bob Dylan
it
is
would be-
great.
This
it
is
would be
how
not
this
good.
is how
That
maybe
was
how
fair, Chad. That was fair for a guy who doesn't do voices.
this is Chad. You probably didn't think about it either, but we're closet or maybe out of the closet racist because Bob Dylan's in the tribe, brother. We can't be doing impressions of Bob Dylan. He's not a
Oh,
white.
yeah,
He's
shit.
not a Caucasian. We need to find some
Jewish?
Vikings.
You can't do impressions of Jewish people.
Well, I mean, it's the same as doing a bad Oriental impression.
Yeah.
Oriental.
Oh man.
Oriental?
God damn, we're just going worse
I'm
and worse.
Easy, Gramps.
Jesus.
Hey, here's that.
Get off
here's
my
that
Persian
picture by
carpet.
Milton.
Oh,
Get out of
that's
it.
pretty cool.
See the E right here, L, and then as it goes down. That's the. This is before he did his first no hitter.
Yeah,
I think he was
so
with the
so that's
Orioles.
a hidden message right there. We uncovered Brett Erickson's
Yeah.
shirt.
It says
Done.
elves.
And
You
did
love
you know
elves.
this? The day somebody linked us up to this, on the day that Elvis died, they recorded that song that mentions Elvis in Greece. God damn it! I almost had the song too. Sandra D. They say Elvis, keep your, and they after they recorded that, they heard Elvis died and it freaked them out. Like,
Oh, really?
how fucking unrelated is your fucking thing to Elvis dying? You just happen to record that. But anyway,
that's how you get on everyone's mind, man.
The thing I saw,
Create
though,
those connections.
it was one of our listeners that linked this or whatever, but that thing that I saw also mentioned Michael Biehn as you may not have noticed heartthrob Michael Biehn behind the scenes. So
No, I said that.
I know, but it was
I'm a fan of the show.
Oh,
so
I know,
you're
but
right.
I watched. Not only did I watch Grease after the last show, I watched the 10 things you didn't know about Grease. But I could say 9 things because Chaille told me one of them.
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't know. Maybe like you go like 10 facts about Grease. You may not know all of them. Would have been.
If you
fair.
watched Grease, you better have watched our homework assignment because I sure as fuck did.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I can't wait for this. This is the only reason I really made this happen.
Yeah.
I've been taking a beating in social media, just every way.
Well,
and
I'm not as mad at you, Chaille, because I got it at Redbox, but we can save it for later.
Saved $1.50.
I saved $2. I had it 2 days where I could slowly watch it as opposed to getting sucker punched.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw Erickson a bone here. I wish I would have spent the $19.99 instead of the $6 because I'd like to own it. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
I think it's great. We rented it, and then the next day we realized you had to. Once you've watched it all the way through, that's
can't
it.
go back.
So then we bought it, and I think it's great. I've watched it again since last week.
You saw it?
Awesome.
Did you see it on a big screen the first time?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that
screen.
No, they have a big screen at their house.
Oh,
they didn't go to a movie theater. They didn't want someone watching them go into that movie.
Okay, I was gonna throw a whole different theory out here. That it was a post-COVID overreaction.
Doesn't know what's happening right now. Just let me give a little background here.
Yeah.
Every week on this show, we make recommendations, things we enjoy, things we are watching, things we are reading, things we're doing, whatever the case may be. And a couple of weeks ago, I recommended the Nicolas Cage movie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, a comedy with him and Pedro Pascal and Tiffany Haddish. And
don't forget the electrifying Ike Barinholtz as the CIA operative.
You know, I did think it was funny that Chaille was those people had about 40 seconds of screen time in the whole movie.
The whole movie was so mad about it.
Why was Chaille mad about those people? They're not even hardly in it.
I would have understood the movie Power of Dog if they'd have had 40 seconds of a dog wagging its tail.
It isn't about that, Andy.
I know.
So last week when we were doing our recommendations, Chaille took time out from our recommendations to
review,
mock me, and to drag me over the coals for making him spend $5 to rent this movie that he could only stand to watch for about 30 minutes tops, and then he fucking shut it off. He walked out of the theater. He was done. He's not even going to see how this thing finishes out. That's how terrible it was. Then he went on to recommend watching a YouTube video of a drifter building a water tank. So I'm just gonna fucking let you have that. If that's what you like,
said.
If you like
that was well
watching
said.
Movies where drifters build water tanks, then Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent isn't for you.
This is getting it.
I like both.
Yeah, Chad's a diplomat.
Wait, Andy, I want to hear you. Andy, you didn't care for it.
But I
didn't like it.
I
didn't think it sucked, but I didn't really, I mean, I laughed at some of the Nicolas Cage scenes. And then it kind of turned into a formula bit, you know. I mean, it was
Did you
turned
watch
into
it
a
all the way
formula
through? Did you
because it
watch
was
it
a formula.
all
I did
the
it.
way through.
Yeah, I wish Josh fucking would have fuck, I can't think of his name either. I'm in the throes of chemo, in case you can't tell. I'm actually sucking on the bag as we speak. So if I can't think of the dude who
well, that's your excuse. We still don't know what Erickson's is.
I felt like I got Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck was a movie that I went to. We had beers. My buddies were sitting there getting a buzz on, and maybe we were too old or too young. We didn't fit the mix because about halfway through we said, fuck this shit, and then we proceeded to drink and drive around town because we didn't want to sit in the movie.
Is absolutely, hands down, everyone agrees on this, one of the
your favorite
movies of all time, and Chaille's favorite movie.
But there was a guy, I told this before, the mill I worked at, and he said it was a little slow up front, but it got wild and woolly at the ending. And I thought that's what this guy said. He was a fucking moron. I mean, there was much more evidence. It's been a long time, but I thought of the guy as maybe one of the dumber people that could put on a pair of pants. And he said it got wild and woolly at the end. And I had just seen it, and I thought, what a fucking idiot. And but I didn't have any, like the same with this movie is I watched half of it, and then I could have not gone back to it easily.
Danny and I were giggling almost through the entire thing. We were laughing at almost every fucking line. It was so goofy, but it was funny.
Me and Chaille have gotten jaded.
Yeah, I think so.
You guys are making me feel self-conscious about my Howard the Duck recommendation this week now.
They should remake it.
Howard the Duck 2.
I don't know. It had potential. It was a talking duck. Maybe it was ahead of its time.
Oh, you sound like one of the guys who greenlit it, Andy.
Well,
it was ahead of its time.
Yeah, like
it had all the makings.
That teddy bear movie,
talking opening scene of Unbearable Weight of Mass. Well, it's not the opening scene. The opening scene is the girl getting kidnapped. The next scene, when Nicolas Cage is having lunch with a director, I can't remember his name, and they're talking about.
Oh, here we go. Here we go again. The one thing you
no, that was his agent.
How just wrapped in attention he was into the character at the drop of a hat. And he's like, I'll do it now. I'll do it now.
Oh,
Big fucking deal. He's an actor.
It's a comedy, Chaille.
I know, but you keep referring to this dramatic scene.
No, I never said that.
The one outside the restaurant when he goes, I can read for you.
I haven't.
No, I'll do it. I'll read for you.
Yeah, you want me to read for you? And then he reads. Then he gets in the guy's face and he does this super intense monologue. And then at the end, the director goes, "Holy shit!" And then Nick Cage goes, "You want me to do it again?" That's fucking funny.
That's the third time you repeated that exact sentence.
Oh man, we should have saved this to the end.
If this might go to the end.
This might be the end. This might be the fucking apocalypse.
Let's put it out there. I
give it a thumbs.
Like this show. Watch this movie and let us know what you think.
Don't watch the movie. Just vote on the poll. Watch the trailer.
I'd like
to watch the whole movie. Chaille, you didn't even watch the whole movie, so you don't even know how it all came back around in a circle.
I don't have to watch a dog to the end.
I like this. What I laughed at was when he said Nicolas fucking Cage with full rage, and then they play that like at the end while the credits are rolling, and it made me laugh just on that, just as a soundbite. Nicolas Cage and his fucking gung ho. I'd like to see the evening where Nicolas Cage was in a casino in silk pajamas. I saw a picture of it, and he looked like he was having some problem with security or whatever. It wasn't due to his attire, but I just felt like, man, I can relate to this guy. I bet he pisses himself too. Like.
But you were relating to the attire.
Well, I know why he wore that. That's what I would ask him is, did you wear silk pajamas around Vegas for the ease? And he'd probably go, yeah, man, kick your shoes off and you can take a leak.
What are you
Well,
talking
I just
about?
like to cheers Chad Shank, who's absolutely 100% correct in his.
Oh, we can't disagree on this podcast now. Is that what's going
He
on?
got it. He understands.
Look, I
quality
spent the
cinema
money. I
and
took
good
the ride.
filmmaking.
I
This
decided
guy
it wasn't
gets
worth
it.
the money.
These other two fucking chumps.
I
Hey,
made-
watch
and
him
then
fill the water tank. Oh,
as a disclaimer, one time I was belly sick and probably had diarrhea in the Coppola's winery parking lot. I didn't mean to. It wasn't a statement.
Very specific, Andy.
Well, I parked on the 101.
I remember the story.
Yeah,
It was very specific.
I'm excited to hear how this.
Oh, I thought he was
loops back
making
into
an
the-
example.
Well, that's his
What we're
family, man.
Yeah,
That's Nicolas
Coppola.
Cage's. He's a Coppola. And
Yeah.
so like every time I see Nicolas Cage, I kind of feel ashamed. Like, oh, I'm sorry about that, dude. Your family didn't deserve that. The help at
fair enough.
the help at your family estate didn't deserve that, brother.
Fair enough.
He was great in Dazed and Confused. The movie Pig, I enjoyed.
Mhm. He's great in this.
Was he
Enjoy
in?
it, everyone. Watch it. Enjoy it.
He wasn't in it. Fuck. Was he in Platoon? No.
No,
Johnny Depp was.
Yeah,
Alright.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny
was.
Depp was.
Fuck, why wasn't Nicolas Cage in that movie? God damn it.
Well,
All right.
Neil Patrick Harris wasn't doing his job.
Yeah.
I didn't know NPH was in that movie either. That was a pleasant surprise. I like to see that guy,
Who?
Who?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh,
Yeah.
NPH.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
I didn't
Was-
realize that. It was pretty funny.
Wasn't
Yeah,
he?
was good.
He was in Gone Girl too, wasn't he? He was like I think he was a
Gone
creepy.
Girl. Where's that coming from?
It's Ben
Nobody told me
Affleck
to watch
movie.
Gone Girl.
No, I'm not saying, but it's a Neil
I
Patrick
thought
Harris.
that Pedro Pascal was also really, really excellent in this movie. I really like that guy. I get it. I think he's great, and I think he was great in this movie. I thought Tiffany Haddish was miscast. I wish it wouldn't have been her. I didn't believe her as a CIA agent, but it's a popcorn movie comedy, so I was able to get past that.
I hope this gets Nicolas Cage squared with people who make movies and he owes money to. I want him to start getting back to
This
the basics.
isn't even close to his worst movie.
No,
he
no.
when he went really bankrupt or close to bankrupt, he was taking tons of roles. This one seems to have a little juice.
Yeah,
behind
this
it.
one had money behind. This movie
Yeah.
had money behind it. Yeah, like Pig could have been shot behind trailers in Vancouver, Washington.
Has anybody
on the
seen
hill.
Willy's Wonderland?
Yeah.
No,
We
Shayla,
talked
you
about
should
that
watch
one.
Willy's Wonderland. If you're
I'm
no,
not. I'm good
That
for
one-
now.
That one was harder to watch than this one.
me too.
Shaylee's now
Yeah.
like a club owner who a comic recommended a friend to work the club, and that week didn't go well.
Yeah.
No, Brett's like, this other guy though.
Watch this one though. You got to get this one.
Oh yeah, you're the one who you're
right.
the one who what was his name? The guy
I
from New York. Yeah. Hey, aren't you the one who recommended Rich Shapiro that week where he only worked one night and then we paid him for the whole week and put him on a plane and get him the fuck out of here? Yeah, I'll pass.
yeah, Rick Shapiro, he should have been showed up at gigs with like printed instructions on
He
how to
had-
maximize what you get.
Yeah, well, most of that was written on his hand,
Yeah.
his arms.
We lost
Write
the
his
contract
entire
with the
act out on
hotels.
on
We
his-
lost the contract we had with the hotels for the comics because of Rick Shapiro at
Yeah.
Coots.
I showed up at a Motel 6. Dave Dennison put his comics up at the best, and but the week before, forget who Stanhope was working with, but I showed up there, and then they came. The 6 motel didn't want the comics there anymore.
Oh, it was the Travel Lodge.
Oh, was it a travel
Yeah,
lodge?
because that was on the corner right next to where Laughs was when it was over in Kirkland. And then we went to go into the hotel and they're like, yeah, you can't stay here. You're connected with that comedy club. You can't stay here.
I can't.
Because something happened the week before.
Before Doug?
Yeah, because
Oh.
or maybe it was our week. Did you get
Yeah, no,
screwed the
that's
next
what
week?
I was told it was. But you know, those fucking
Oh, there was an incident. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think
was.
Jackie Trinka showed up. There was something. Some people from Alaska were there.
Oh,
And then some guy was coming to the room and it's like, hey, who are you? It's like, with the group. It's like, I'm the group. Who the fuck are you?
Did he have a check his laminate? You can always
Yeah,
tell
well,
when
he
somebody's
didn't have
lying.
a shirt on, so I would have definitely seen the laminate.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't take those off for swimming, buddy. No laminate, no entry into the Doug Stanhope quality and after
Probably
party.
a laminate or a large bag of cocaine, one of the two.
Yeah.
That was where we got a bunch of those fighter pilots from someone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that Denny's on the corner there, that was a good gig. Erickson, did you ever play there at Laughs over in Kirkland?
Oh yeah, I did play there one time.
Yeah, they had that Denny's that was on the corner right off ramp of the freeway, which within walking distance, that had a bar in it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
that was the sketchiest. Well, I've been in a lot of Denny's that are pretty.
Yeah,
sketchy,
I said Denny's with a bar. Of course, it was sketchy.
Oh man,
and we got a bunch of fighter pilot pills.
Shit, that's almost like a perfect. Like I was thinking, like Better Call Saul. They proposed at the end of. It was in the episode of if you could go back and change something, like be a time machine or regret or whatever. But fucking, I don't know why I brought that up after Denny's. I mean, plenty of regrets there, but
a time machine of regret.
Yeah,
sounds like a Denny's.
Yeah, fuck yeah. No, that's a straight up chemo fumble right there.
You got one more after this one, huh?
This is it.
This is the one.
I went through
this is it.
The chair sit today, and then I got this bag on me till Friday. On the 19th, I get it taken off at noon. I get unhooked by it, and then any further cancer will be either a bummer or non-existent. I can't really celebrate it, I'd like to, I don't know, I was thinking about wearing my afro wig and dark glasses to go get my pump taken off. Because I heard this lady going on and on about her fucking wig, or like getting a wig. I don't know if she's new to the game, must have been, but she was talking the ear of this nurse off, talking about different places, her wig or whatever. And she goes, well, I don't know if your hair will fall out, but she's like way worried about her wig. And then about like if you were doing it, it was a birth of a baby, the contractions were getting closer together, but she started farting, like really juicy farts that she didn't try to cut off or didn't cut off. And they just hang there. And a couple went unmentioned. A couple were acknowledged by her about backfire, and then she'd go on. I'm talking, and I assumed this lady either was in the area the whole time. I finally turned around after about the fourth juicy riff, like I had, like you're watching a street musician and you don't pay attention, and then they lay out a really tasty lick or something. You're like, wow, who is this guy? They're pretty talented. But she's in the area. They're taking all this and just continue. She laughed at the others or whatever, and I was getting detached, and I got separate rooms, but separated by a half wall, so we could hear everything or whatever. And I think as a courtesy, you try not to pay attention over there. But this was unmistakable, the sound of a fucking fart.
That was the sound of a fart, what you just did?
Well, yeah. A horse.
Your Dylan was better.
That sounded a little bit like Bob Dylan.
Tangled up in your pants. What I was thinking is like, man, she's pretty confident in farting, right? Like at the first couple of weeks of chemotherapy, I lost a loved one, the ability to fart and have fun with it, Now I'm like going to defense mode, like I'm getting ready to get punched in the belly every time I'm not ripping anything. Yeah, I want to announce to everybody I got to go change pants real quick
on a need to do basis.
Yeah. So, but as I was getting done, she goes, "So this is your last chemotherapy?" And I said, "And my last aromatherapy." And I let that hang there as I got up, and I think that's why comedy has always been a challenge. Is I get laughs when I walk away from stuff. Like I said that, I time it so I'm headed off stage, when the joke hits. and she realized
We've
that I
seen
said
it.
aromatherapy because she was sitting.
You're preaching to the choir, Andy.
Yeah, she sat there for a few of them, and I didn't say anything. I was like, but I wanted to say, she's sure she's not shitting herself. I mean, she doesn't even know about the hair loss part of this. Maybe she's naive and she just shit herself 5 times, and she may learn that. That'd be if I could have told her something, I'd be like, yeah, lose that fucking arrogance.
She shit herself 5 times in a row. That's a slow fucking learner right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just had like you heard, I can't do impressions, but there was almost like a miss note on a horn that just, they don't have whammy bars on horns, but if they did.
Buddy Rich called it a clam.
Yeah. Oh,
you played the wrong note.
Right.
He called it a clam.
Well, it was pretty close to it.
It smelled like a clam.
But man, I was thinking, and she was talking about a wig to go to work in. Like, man, you better fucking tone down your fucking shitting your pants out in public before you worry about it. If you're gonna have a Dolly Parton look.
Either that or you're gonna need a really, really wild, distracting sort of wig.
Misdirect.
Yeah,
like
total misdirect.
Rainbow clown wig. And then what are those things, like a slide whistle? Just have a slide whistle so people would go, huh? You might want to clean that slide whistle. It smells like shit. I'm gonna freeze pipe it.
Well, I'm glad you've made it to the end of your chemo, Andy.
Yeah.
It's funny to hear you
I'm sick of it.
Talk about this like you're the fucking veteran hanging out at the office, like, this bitch doesn't know shit about
Yeah, I said I got my last one.
around.
It won't be my last blood draw by any means, but they won't get me next week. I saved one injection of the ones I give myself because I could have done it this week, but I was like, no, I'm gonna fucking party with it.
Just habit of doing drugs.
I'm gonna
saving a little.
I should get them on the other end of my cycle, I'm sure. But insurance being cunts or whatever, they're like, this guy's partying for free. But I saved one dose and recovered enough, and then I got a dose to do. But when I went in and got my blood draw, it did kind of hurt a little bit, but I said ouch, just as it doesn't affect me anymore. It's like being a baby, like Stanhope would do. Ow. Put my lip out, but I'm done with that shit.
Actually, Stanhope, when he got his nipple lanced, because he had his nipple ended up getting infected, and it was what was it, Chase? It was a gland, right? Something got, and it was he had mastitis, and he didn't get any local anesthesia when they ripped it open. And I'm like, well, are you kidding me? And Bingo's like, nope, he didn't take any anesthesia. I'm like, whoa.
That's why
they lanced that motherfucker.
I think I told you when they lanced that thing on my taint a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
I no matter what I told myself, like, this is your pain. You fucking keep it. You bite down. Motherfuck! I just screamed as loud as I possibly could. Every cuss word I know, to the point that I apologized when I left the room. I'm like, sorry, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Ridiculous. My anger barrage is stuff to apologize for. Like, I'm sorry. Let me look around there. I did not mean it that way. I'm talking to myself. It's one thing you can remember you can't remember the physic. You can't in your memory draw up on what the pain was. So like, no matter how bad that fucking pain I had after surgery and shit, I can't physically remember the pain. I can just remember how much everything sucked around it. But that's kind of a cool thing about, being a human. That's what, like, when you see somebody get kicked in the nuts, there's like a little pain by you. That's the one time where you go, oh, I can feel some actual remembrance of pain on that one. But I don't think I would want to.
Also, swearing makes things hurt less scientifically.
Yeah, and the amount of push behind it too. The louder you are.
Yeah, screaming and yelling.
And you could make anything that. you know, if you wanted to, like for instance, my daughter misheard me cursing one time and thought I said summon a duck. But for quite a while afterwards, when I would get mad, I would just say I'd say fucking summon a duck or whatever, you know, I'd still mix it up, but I hung on to it. And also, I don't know.
Did you say that she mistook for summon a duck? Were you watching Howard the Duck? Was this when you were watching?
I spilled olives.
Howard the Duck.
I spilled a whole fucking thing of olives, and it tipped over and just kept dumping down the fridge like it was a water, like, you know, it's a spill, but it's like a spill fountain. And each level's getting befouled.
It was a large thing of olives.
Yeah, fucking black juice dripping down.
The martini fountain.
Yeah. So I could have sounded anti-Semitic there with the black olives. I don't know how, but Jesus, fuck, man. Yeah, it's like a.
So why did you say summon a duck? What does that even...
I think I probably said son of a bitch and then fuck a bunch.
Fuck.
But she just remembered. Like, you know,
I said son of a fuck.
Yeah. I used to try to, like, you know, teach my nephews better ways of mixing up swear words. So with my kid, even if I didn't know she was in the room, I probably still would have said, you motherfucking son of a bitch, god damn, you know, like that. Try to keep it concise so it doesn't confuse the children. Keep your sentence structure as best you can.
So shortening it won't affect the kids. If you keep it concise, like you said, rather than just saying summon a duck.
Yeah, wait till they're older to teach them the advanced shit. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and then we didn't break it down. Like, what was the verb? Cunt was not the verb. No, cunt was the noun.
Yeah, these are all objects.
What was the cunt doing?
And then Andy's like, I've been asking myself that for 17 years.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, today my daughter sent me we still celebrate birthdays, even though some of the family doesn't celebrate birthdays, but I got this shirt and a note, and I wanted to save the note to read later, but I already picked out like 4 or 5 obscenities in it. Like, fuck that, or, you know, like, what? And it's all neat. Pen, you know, she's got nice handwriting. It's like block letter.
Proud?
Yeah, I think she's got my back, but I mean, you know, it's just that, you know, whatever. She's trying to appreciate her asshole dad.
She gave you a birthday card with obscenities, laced with obscenities?
Well, here's the thing I don't appreciate, and I don't think she listens to the podcast, which I do appreciate, that she doesn't listen. But
you never know.
She sent me a thing. Straight out of Chemo. It's black letters with a middle finger, but it's like a string on. Like, I'm not putting this together. You sent me something.
It's a project.
Yeah, it's like a project. And what I'm getting kicked out of this room. I'm not going to hang a banner that says straight out of Chemo. People don't want to be around people with cancer, and definitely don't want to be hospicing in the same space. Airbnb
afraid
hospice.
You're going to run out of things to do now that you don't have chemo. You need some activities.
Yeah. So that was a miss. The shirt was a hit. The note was a hit. Oh, and then a Morse code fuck cancer bracelet. So there you go. I thought at first it was like a bling bling, and then I thought, well, maybe I will wear the wig and the big dark shades and a Adidas sweatsuit and go in there like I'm fucking, you know, I'm at the desert party to get it's just a quick in and out. They pull the bag, so snap my Chemo graduation picture, and I'll come back and tell some dumb blonde jokes in 15 weeks.
You make some friends, Andy? Some people
you're
going to keep in touch with?
No, I can't say that. No, but if I would have, I mean, I got Chemo like a lot of other war heroes, or war. I didn't go to war, but I got the, you know, shirt that says I do.
You have the jacket.
But sitting in a Chemo room with a bunch of guys who are still wearing the hats and shit. But I like to play what year were they born, because you get to hear everybody's year because you repeat it a bunch of times. a lot of the WW2 guys, not wrestling, like WW2 guys sitting around. They got
I think we
cancer.
followed you on that, Andy, but thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, when you said WW2, I definitely thought it means the word wrestling.
Oh, you mean
Junkyard Dog?
Triple
I
X
know what you're
wasn't there
talking
hanging out
about.
with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it all blends together. I don't think there was
Casey, can you
any
turn that
pro
light on?
wrestlers, but they would be a high cancer group too. You can sit
Yeah.
with some World Wrestling
don't-
Federation guys across from some WW2 guys.
Yeah, wrestlers don't even live long enough to get cancer.
Right.
Yeah, they don't. Have you ever heard of a wrestler getting cancer?
No.
Dementia. Remember that? I'm gonna fuck. There was a pro wrestler that body slammed a guy in a nursing home a few years ago. And I think his wrestling name kind of foretold it. Like he wasn't like throw an old man and bash him on a table guy, but like Crusher maybe, or anyway, it was a bummer. And but think of it this way: your grandpa got fucking thrown off the top turnbuckle by Snuka, or something cool. It's better, better than just sitting there watching the Jefferson and having a stroke because he's racist and he wasn't able to tell anyone. Plunk him down in front of the Jeffersons.
He wanted someone to change the channel, but he couldn't.
Killer Kowalski fucking flipped my grandpa. Best thing ever. Like if my dad would have been, body slammed by a wrestler at the end, he would have been cool with it because he was a fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or slapped in the face by a Three Stooge. Shit.
By a Three Stooge.
A Three Stooge.
That's fucking great. Oh shit, Andy. I'm so fucking glad you're done with your shit, man. Here's to that. And happy birthday, apparently.
Yeah, I guess
Happy birthday.
I guess I'm due. And so however many years ago my mom was like, I'm not due for another month. I was sitting around having ice cream. And I don't know how she got there. I know this though. My dad, and it's probably why he hated social gatherings his whole life, is they were having a baby shower as a couple, and then she went to the hospital, or she was in the hospital during the time that was scheduled. So I think he hosted it like the next night.
He got stuck with the baby shower.
Yeah, and he didn't like, he wasn't sociable at all. So he probably fucking burned him, and he probably held on to it his whole life.
And then you came out a month early.
Yeah, I was out
Andy, is that what we're hearing? Is that you were a month early?
It was about the size of a 12-ounce beer. It was a little fucking waif. A full month early, and then I spent a couple weeks in an incubator, and then everything changed. It all
started going downhill from. Once they took me out of that incubator,
nobody lined up to breastfeed me, so I could have stayed in there.
The 12-ounce beer is like a little bit bigger than this.
Yeah, I think it was like 13 ounces is what.
13. Okay, that checks.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I was
we're less than a pound.
I'll have to find it. I have it somewhere. My preemie baby weight. It's
this is 23 ounces.
Well, I had a penis on that. Pretty much the same amount of hair.
That's liquid ounces. I mean, I don't know. That could take.
That's not just.
I'm just thinking of the size.
Well, that doesn't translate to the weight.
I can't.
13 ounces is not.
I'm not sure if I call down
like 6 or 7 pounds.
You're right, because a coffee cup does not weigh the same as.
I was in between 6 pounds and 1 pound, but I was definitely in an incubator, and it's like you think it's bad, but it's like if you never get out of the incubator, it's fucking not bad.
Well,
I mean, I did.
Bro.
Well, it's like everything's taken care of right there.
Absolutely.
I didn't need to go, visit a bunch of fucking relatives.
They all came to you.
Yeah. The old man's not here. He's hosting a party.
It's nice and warm.
My mom didn't breastfeed me. So thus, that's how I got cancer. Or I might have drank water at Camp Lejeune. I'm finding out that I might have.
You better start pronouncing it right if you want to get on the class action.
I was kidnapped by a hippie chick, and she was fucking a Marine, and we lived at that camp for a while, and I drank a lot of that water.
Andy, did they ever tell you how long you spent in the incubator?
I was in there a few weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks probably. Partying and shit. It's like, I'm not going to get a cold because there's nobody fucking, they got to wear masks and shit. Meals are all right there in your room. Yeah. So everything since then, it's just been one fucking contradiction and complication after another.
Are you under the impression that like if you went home right away, you'd have to be fixing your own meals?
I'd like to have been the boy in the bubble. The boy in the bubble situation where you could.
Oh, John Travolta?
Yeah, but he needed to be able to lock his room, not just his bubble outer walls, because it seemed like he had a lot of hassles come right to his bubble. It's like, what's the point of having a bubble if you got to deal with people? It just seems stupid. Just roll around and think about shit. It's like, leave me alone, Mom. Yeah, John Travolta what if that was his biggest fucking role, man? He would have never been in that Nicolas Cage movie Face Off.
It was big when it was big when it came out. I remember that was a huge movie.
Face Off.
When TV movies were big, that's when.
Oh boy, yeah.
TV movie was just as fucking big as a theatrical release.
A blockbuster,
right?
Yeah.
I was totally about to do my John Travolta impersonation.
Yeah. You gonna do it like Dylan? Hey, I'm in a bubble.
That's the only one I know. I'd have to do everybody.
Hey, Mr. Carter.
I'm in a bubble.
I'm in a bubble over here.
Mr. Carter, Mr. Carter. Oh my God, I'm in a bubble.
Oh shit, you good. Fuck.
I'm washing down the last of my chemo was a nice, refreshing freeze pipe hit.
Good for you. Now that's a good idea because you know what happens when you hit that freeze pipe. Your smoke is cooled up to 300 degrees, 300 degrees colder than it would have been. I don't know. That's like borderline Kelvin. That's like absolute zero. But
you can freeze a human body like that.
Yeah, all the molecules will stop moving, but it's apparently it works for smoke, and you'll be coughing a lot less. You'll get that nice clean hit.
And one of the 10 items that Chad Shank would take on alone.
Absolutely.
That and weed.
Yes.
Well, and it would be interesting to see because the pieces come apart and you have to put the one piece in the freezer. So he'd also have to take a freezer, and then the two pieces might count as separate pieces. That might be two parts. Look, he's going to be down to like 4 actual survival items.
I'd link them all together and trick them so they thought it was one, and then I'd make a freezer. Come on,
that's true. I guess you could.
It's alone, so it's going to be cold enough at some point.
Put you up in Antarctica.
Freeze pipe maybe could attach something that you could make a fire with. Like you.
Hey, Andy, lift it up a little bit. Lift it up. There we go. Yeah.
The freeze pipe torch. You're saying?
Yeah, you just pull out and it has a mirror, and you can like you light ants on fire.
I feel like
you can light a fire with that
fire pipe.
How come nobody does that on them shows? Pull out the old magnifying glass. Also, you can see grubs easier. Come on, man.
Well, maybe if they could bring 11 items, Andy, they'd bring a magnifying glass.
Yeah, I know if you can eat dirt, you can. Our
10th contestant on Alone this year is Sherlock Holmes. Let's see how he's doing. Boy, he's got a lot of grubs.
Early on, I did question a bunch. Well, why the fuck wouldn't you just bring this? And which led me to look it up, where I realized there is a selection of 10 items that you can't
just pick your own 10. It's like from a list.
Yeah.
But some of them are for the safety of the people. There are some things you need to have for sure.
The surprising one that I learned, that I don't know if we talked about this before on our Alone podcast, but the surprising one that I learned that they don't talk about much is you can take food. They have some food stores.
I chose not to believe you. I just decided that
I agree with Erickson. That
ruins it for me a little.
Yeah, that takes.
But it's not much. Trust me, it's not very much. It's like supplemental at best. Like it's like a pound of jerky or something, and or one of them is like a big thing of sea salt to just keep your electrolytes. It's not really anything.
Okay, I agree with the salt, but I don't agree with jerky.
Yeah, there's jerky, trail mix, different ones that they can take, but they don't talk about those on the.
And I guess nobody's ever going to eat their own cum. But to me, that would be like an easy protein for the first 3 or 4 days, depending on what you eat going in there.
They would have that
season
little
10 is taking applicants right now. So
that little teletype would come up on the bottom. Jerking off expends 3,000 calories, while eating your semen puts back in 273.
Yeah, I put shelters together, and sometimes I leave a hole in the side, and I suck off a gentleman, and it gives me a little burst of protein.
Wait, you made a little glory hole in your
well, I'm just saying that
one of the Wolverines,
somebody who can swallow a load of jizz,
some of the local fauna,
and this gets rid of the women because they can't produce their own. But if you were a fella and you could get past it, because it's like I've seen that guy scrape the moss off the side of a rock and ate it. That you can't tell me that's any better than a load of hot jizz out of your cleaner.
Yep.
You're scraping a rock, dirt, and stuff.
It's better than jerking yourself
your
off.
Your human body is a.
I'll tell you that right now.
And it comes out warm too, so it's already like kind of went through.
Oh, it's already cooked.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the thing that you guys aren't factoring in is that Andy's a professional masturbator. Like, it's not going to be 3,000 calories.
Professional wilderness.
He's going to do like he's going to concentrate. He's going to focus his energy.
Couple of
grubs. He's going to do one quick fucking stroke, and boom, done. It's going to
you
fucking lunchtime.
You wouldn't want to get into a wrestling
Andy's whole episode is just going to be him holding up a shot glass to the thing.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I would be that contestant, because I would find it salty, probably. I don't know. How do fellas describe it? But I've seen people that enjoy it, or they're good actors. Because
I say no to both of those. They just wanted to get paid.
Yeah, but I'm just,
I'm not sure that Andy's talking about people who
I don't know, like that guy who just won the one for $1 million. That guy would do whatever it took to survive, and if he was down to his last meal, he would wank it and eat his cum, and he wouldn't think of it as anything other than just another meal.
He did eat the stomach contents of an animal he had killed weeks before that he'd been saving in the stomach lining.
So would you rather eat that?
In his cabin in the stomach, and he ate the grass out of it. So eating your own
there's carbohydrates in that, Andy.
Eating your own cum is certainly less gross than that. Mm-hmm. Whether there's more.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
I guess it is. Yeah.
Tomato, really.
Right.
I will say, look, if there's many a lady and a whole lot of gentlemen who have eaten a lot of male cum.
Yeah,
a lot more than who have eaten the fucking contents of a fucking muskox.
But they didn't have that option at the time.
I heard Rod Stewart had a whole muck ox in his belly.
This or that.
Yeah, they took the only thing that they were offered. They weren't given the choice, Erickson.
That's fair. So, like, if you're just right at that moment when you're about to fucking blast, you're like,
whoa, hold on.
I got this right over here if you're interested.
Hey, tell me when you're gonna come, because I'm gonna eat this stuff instead.
You could boil some leaves.
Yeah,
put some berries in it and make cum tea. A little fish in there. You're lucky. Man.
You'd be the only one to get kicked off for inappropriate shit. I wish you guys had seen 9. I can't wait till you guys watch 9.
Season 9
we gotta line up. We have to
coordinate that one so that, like, I know you've seen the whole thing, but I'd like to at least be up with everyone else while we watch it.
Yeah. I feel like I gotta break down and get cable.
Oh, don't do
that. Because I end up watching everything later than everybody else because I just have streaming services. They don't get that shit till like a year later,
And then everybody's
talking about the Better Call Saul last season, and I can't even get that yet.
Yeah, you're
that live Hulu's worth it. I like it.
Yeah, Hulu does seem to have some.
So that's what you have. So that's basically all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Forget what.
We'll consider it.
Indeed.
God damn it! You're making the big floor fucking. You've been there a while, man. shit, I do feel like I haven't had any cocktails, but this shit that drips through my system, there's enough of it. If they could just go, just give me that one, it goes up into that. I'll take that, but get rid of this other shit. I don't need numb, it's like if cocaine made your feet hurt, you probably wouldn't, you go, whatever. So I was like, can't they do this shit so that it doesn't?
We need to have Chaille a supercut of all of the stuff that Andy has said tonight, and just with no explanation,
just a clip of non sequiturs just in a row.
Just boom, 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 like jump cuts. So it's like there's no
big long supercut with this is what you're missing out if you're not a Patreon subscriber.
And then people will tune in expecting to get the context and realize that there was none.
That was it. You got it all. We gave it. We're not.
Yeah, we basically did one of those things where we gave it all away in the trailer.
Yeah.
The old
no better watching it.
I feel like the only way to it would require too much work, but we should the perfect world we end this podcast with my brother Larry doing a Bob Dylan impression with playing his harmonica and everything.
Yeah,
is that something he does like at family get-togethers?
Well, Larry, he played mouth harp in jail. Not that way. I mean,
that's not a euphemism.
Right. That's another cut right there.
That's another one.
Harp in jail.
Erickson, I'm so glad you said that now because now I can put a little star and timestamp it, so it'll help me out. Thank you.
I got to thank the makers of whatever this poison is.
I'm sure it's Pfizer or fucking Abbott Labs or somebody.
Yeah. So this is it though. Friday morning, hopefully any drug I put in my body will be like, okay, sure. What is it? Never mind. Just give it to me.
Yep. And that'll be when this comes out. So by the time you guys see this, Andy will be completely done with his chemo. It'll be all the way over. And then on Saturday, we can jump on with Mind Dog and do the podathon for Christine's cancer.
Yeah, we're doing
let's talk about that. I don't know about it, but I do know about Christine because she was on the last stand-up podcast with Christine's wad of gum is cancer. Episode 499.
I will say this: it's one of the least original ideas I've heard. Getting stomach cancer.
It's like
seems like that's been played out to me.
To be fair, I was doing the bile duct and pancreas, and she's calling it stomach. So maybe it is all stomach, or maybe she just knows that she wrote basically the same sketch.
Right. It's parallel thoughts.
Parallel thought. I liked it, I liked her hook that she was going to go see if she could, get a stomach stapling surgery, which is very suspiciously helps you lose weight just by getting your stomach removed. So
I will say this: I was a little surprised that she had cancer because I definitely had diabetes in the Christine Lagoon pool.
Right.
So.
Well, and all these the death pool. Did you know this? The death pool is no more. The celebrity death pool.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting because I had the celebrity death pool in my celebrity death pool.
Yeah,
So
I had.
You can't collect.
I had Trump, me, the death pool, and Larry King. Is Larry King? He's still alive, right?
Oh shit!
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Really?
Casey says no.
God damn it!
No, Larry King is no longer alive.
Man, it seemed like he was just having babies a minute ago.
He probably was right up.
He was, yeah. I think he was.
He died January 23rd, 2021 at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles.
He was killed by his suspenders.
Yeah, Keith Richards at his bedside. Yeah. He did wear suspenders. Like nobody stayed with bad fashion longer than he did.
It wasn't even that it was bad fashion. It was that he was so bony by the end that his suspenders would be lost in his shoulders. Like his bony shoulders would come up like 3 or 4 inches above his suspenders. It just got weird, totally creepy look.
My favorite.
Maybe that's what killed him. Somebody was just behind him,
absolutely
tightening him up slowly, a little bit, until it just compressed him.
It snapped.
I would have loved to. They'll probably have a documentary on him, but I'd love to see his day to day, like the time of life when he interviewed Henry Phillips. Did anyone see that? He had Henry
No.
Phillips. I don't know if it was probably not on CNN, but Larry King interviewed Henry Phillips, and I'd like to see like how much prep, because Larry always seems to pull out a few tidbits, but he don't know shit about Henry Phillips before that interview. Except
I did not know Larry King.
Yeah, that's a hidden. That and Willie Nelson being interviewed by Sean Rouse are my two favorite weird things of people I know.
Yeah.
Did you guys want to watch it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let me get it going here.
Or a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Two legends of comedy.
Here, get that.
Larry King was a legend of comedy. He was just real dry.
Absolutely.
Celebrity crush.
Well, that's a piece of cake. That would be Christy McNichol.
Strangest job you've ever had?
Strangest job. I used to work for a company called Personics, where I was a salesman, and I'd go to music stores like the Warehouse or Music Plus, and I would try to talk people into using this service where they take their favorite songs and put them on a cassette tape. But they didn't give me a uniform, so I just kind of was this guy walking around talking to strangers, and everybody was kind of creeped out by it. And then CDs came around and ruined the whole thing.
So you were a failure at that too. Best piece of advice you ever received?
Probably from my comedian friends back in the day when, I'd have my comedy act and I'd go and do my jokes and my songs. And particular guy, Doug Stanhope, always used to be like, man, the funny stuff about you is the stuff that you tell me off stage. The embarrassing moment you had with the girl, or the terrible career decision that you made with this offer that you got or whatever, and that's what happened. I started telling those stories, and I felt like the laughs were bigger.
The truth made you.
Absolutely.
Guilty pleasure.
Air Supply. Has anybody else said that one?
No.
I think.
What, breathing?
So far, I'm not
Rock, I
convinced
guess
this
they
is
call
real.
it,
Because
There's
it's
not
very
no
much-
same shot ever.
I think you're right. It doesn't look like green screen behind Henry. Let me see what the
But it
switch
does.
between-
Is that Larry King's page there at the bottom?
Yeah, because everything
Yeah.
he asks is generic.
I mean,
So it could
until
be.
I see
Biggest
it,
risk you
until
ever
I
took.
see a two-shot.
Yeah.
But they're
the
both
lighting
in.
looks very
I did a
similar.
show in Newcastle, England. Paul McCartney was on the show. Prince was on the show. It was called Apocalypse Tube, and it was this big blowout. They have this show called The
Even
Tube.
that doesn't have
and they had
Larry
a
in
couple
it.
comedians,
Yeah.
and they asked me to go on there and perform. 6 countries live.
Wow.
And
If he does that thing like the Brendan
had so
Walsh
much
video where he
stage fright
stands
about it,
up
I
and he's
didn't
not
wanna
wearing
do it,
pants
but
and his
I
dick
just-
is out.
I got talked into it, and I said,
You got
Rick-
this is what I
You
wanna
got
do.
Rick
This
rolled.
is-
Go well?
They're
gonna play that
That's
video.
great.
That was great.
A booming night for Henry.
Look at the
Yeah,
chairs.
a
Are
little
the
bit
chairs?
Oh,
there
no,
in the
okay,
middle
right
of,
there, right there.
Despair.
They got either this is totally real, or they got the puppet to say Henry Phillips, because
Oh, you
Larry
said
King
Henry
said
Phillips?
Henry Phillips. So
Well, look at the chairs. Are very
What's something
similar
you wish
to.
you were better at?
I wish I was better at character acting. My dad's fantastic at that, and I never got that gene.
Who would you trade places with for a day?
Bill Murray.
Secret talent.
Oh, there it is.
Ah,
Secret talent.
Yeah.
Well, I used to do a
Switch
thing where I
down.
could put my elbow in.
How did we not talk about this?
Actually, I think I might have just broken something. Sorry.
Didn't do
But
any
that's it.
research at all.
did you
Funniest
see
fan encounter.
Larry Reflex on that?
I had a guy. I was in Lansing, Michigan, and a guy shows up blindfolded because his girlfriend brought him out, and he's a big fan, and he wanted to see my show, and takes off the blindfold, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, I'm looking forward to your show," and it was a big surprise. I went on and ate shit for about 40 minutes, and like, that guy was like, "This is the worst birthday present I ever had."
What always makes you laugh?
Always makes me laugh. Easy. It's
Issues with
when
Andy.
people sneeze while they're holding a hot coffee. Have you ever seen that happen?
No, I don't think so.
I'm not going to do it right now, but if you get a chance to see it,
Proudest accomplishment.
oh, he just went right on
proudest
steamrolled
accomplishment
over.
would be this movie, Punching Henry. And I'm saying that sincerely, not
Can't
just
wait
that I'm
to see
trying to
it.
plug it, but I just absolutely love it.
Tell me something people don't know about you.
I'm actually a funny guy. No.
They haven't discovered that.
yeah. They'll find out someday.
There it was.
Watch new episodes of Larry King Now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on demand on Aura TV and Hulu.
Aura TV.
Never
and
heard
Larry,
of it.
and Larry never looked back. Did you
That was
see him?
2017.
How
so
many
it was a
other
couple years.
interviews do you think Larry did that day? What number was Henry? Was he like
Probably like
40th?
Oh,
if
this
he
is
got-
like a junket where they just like
Yeah.
line them up.
If you
Yeah.
if you just let that playlist play, he doesn't even switch question
No.
list. He asks the same
Question.
exact questions in every single one.
Good
Yeah.
for
And
Henry.
what is he? Comedian? Okay. Bring the chuckles.
I
Wait,
think
this
that
guy's name
interview
is
really
Henry
pushed
too? Are they all
Punching
Henry today?
I think that interview really pushed Punching Henry over the top too. It really
Yeah.
did for Henry what
Well, it wasn't his
Mhm.
big entity. He was like, it's like at that point, Larry was off air and they just set up a studio in his basement so he could pretend he was still doing the show. Or
That
he
and
was still,
infomercials.
Or a TV picked it up.
or,
I mean,
or yeah,
yeah.
just runs a bunch of those promo interviews and lends them out or whatever. I don't know. Larry had to pay for them. Did you see when Henry reached behind and did like he hurt himself and Larry kind of flinched like Larry
Like this.
Larry knows just trying to get that suspender up over the hump.
Yeah.
Like he got what that meant.
He was waiting to hear the sound of bones cracking.
So yeah, you know, fucking
oh,
Henry
that's
Phillips.
very cool.
Henry Phillips knows goddamn Larry King.
Yep.
Knew him. Now he's
Mhm.
with God.
Now Larry King is dead.
And we're 2 people removed from Hey Larry King. So I mean, with the
Right.
8 degrees of Kevin Bacon rules, we're pretty close.
I'm only one from the Bacon.
What?
Well, he worked with Donald Sutherland in Animal House, and I worked with Donald Sutherland. Although Donald Sutherland didn't know it, we worked together on Without
Oh,
Limits.
when you were an extra on set?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's flimsy, but there
Right.
you go.
I also think that's actually 2 degrees. Not to actually you, but I mean 1 degree is
Is Kevin Bacon.
Donald-
Everybody is right.
Donald-
I am
Don-
1 degree away from Kevin Bacon.
It's 3. I'm 3 then.
I am not Kevin Bacon. I am Andy, who knows
I
Kevin
am
Bacon.
touching
That's 1
Kevin
degree.
Bacon. This is Kevin Bacon's
TBFE named Kevin Bacon's brother.
Oh, how's your father?
Did you know Kevin Bacon's in a folk band?
He's
Yeah,
in
the
a-
Bacon brothers.
Yeah, the
Bacon Brothers. Yeah, I was going to ask
So
you
you're
if you
trying
knew
to
what the name
dazzle
of
us
the
with
band
trivia
was.
that everyone knows?
His cousin Kevin
That
Bacon
doesn't
told
help
him
your
about
argument that you are Kevin Bacon.
Here's
That-
10 things you don't know about Kevin Bacon.
That-
I
that-
know all these.
That hunk running around the field behind John Travolta might look familiar.
Any issues with Andy fans?
Yeah. We probably don't need to play the Sean Rouse with Willie Nelson, but that always makes me happy to know that it's not a great, I don't even know what it was about. And I'm not sure.
I'm sure that neither
Sean did
the two
either.
of them.
And Willie didn't seem to care. But I just like that they were probably both really stoned and happy to hang out with each
Well,
other for a few
especially if
minutes.
you're Willie Nelson, yeah, just imagine how many interviews you've given. You don't give a fuck. You're
Yeah.
not.
And then you get Sean in there. Probably had to be helped in there, and then he's just fucking doesn't have a real agenda.
Willie probably thought it was like some, kids make a wish that he got to interview Willie Nelson and just go along with it,
And I know Henry cracked up Larry King, but in the Willie interview with Sean Rouse, Sean actually makes Willie laugh for real. Like it feels like Larry King would laugh just because he knew he had
I'll
to.
get this one in preset, so give it to me. Oh, I got it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, stand by.
I'm rolling.
All right, rolling. And not yet. I'm rolling. You want to tape 1, tape
Don't
3?
worry about it, Clyde, man.
Okay, got it. I'm speeding.
Right, son.
Hello, everybody. My name's Sean Rouse. I'm here with, everybody knows Willie. How are you? Good. I was reading.
It'd be funny if there was never a
Just
camera on
where
where
did it all start for you? I was born in Abbott, Texas, April 29th, 1933. As far as I know, that's when it first started. Yeah, that's where it all happened. When did you get into music? I'd always heard music. I always remember hearing
This one feels like a setup. Like Willie's not
Yeah.
really
all
there.
kinds of music, and then when I got up old enough to write some poems, I started doing that 5 or 6 years old. And And then I learned to play a few chords on the guitar and started writing songs. And I worked in the field with a lot of Mexicans and a lot of blacks, and I heard a lot of blues and a lot of Latin rhythms. And it was sort of laid out there for me.
It's like one of those things where you couldn't get Willie, so you put a guy in a hat.
Yeah.
Probably what I do is make sure.
Is this like a hidden camera? Did they not?
I don't. I'm trying to figure out what's going on because they've got like so many distractions.
I know.
There's a ball
It's like
game
the
on in
raw
the background.
footage.
There's another
People
camera.
walking
Like,
around.
you can see the reflection of like news somewhere else.
Yeah, the
It's like this
TVs
is
are still
and
on in that bar.
There's so much going on, and this is
Besides-
probably just like a second camera angle because they do a cross thing and then probably a pulled back one for the setup. But what is this for? His first question is, how did you get started, or how did this all
Where
start?
did it all start?
It's like, do you not know who Willie Nelson is?
He said,
"Who are you again?"
he asked questions everybody knows. Well, you would think Willie would be like, shit, man, but Sean gives you that intense fucking interest too. So you go,
Where
well,
do
you
we
can't.
actually get to see Willie Nelson in this?
Well, I think it's because this is the angle that they were shooting Sean's side, and then they have another camera shooting the other way.
That's what I mean. So this is just this isn't even the.
Let me see. Let me go through it a little bit.
I know
Yeah,
there's
this whole
one.
thing is just
Sean Rouse interviews Willie
is
Nelson.
Willie's,
here.
By the
Willie's
way-
angle looking at Sean Rouse.
This is a great
who
idea.
you know quite well. And what's your relation with Worldview?
Well, it's my daughter Amy and our
there it is.
daughter Kathy, and
So this is on the
I've watched
Freedom Fest
grow up
in
since they
Austin.
were babies.
Cut the shit, Willie. Where's the blow?
Glad to see them having fun, playing music, writing music, and traveling around. I'm very proud of them.
Good. That's great, Billy. How many? You have a lot of children, I know.
House, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Families were.
Yeah. How many kids do you have?
All right, I can't watch it anymore. It's just brutal.
Yeah, sound needs to be cleaned up a little bit too.
Well, they had an overhead mic, so they had something going on that just
It would be a funny idea to do that interviews like that style where it's like, Andy Andrist interviews,
Yeah, you just shoot the hat and some sideburns.
yeah, and Donald Trump, and then it's just nothing but shots of Andy asking inane questions, and never a shot of the
Well,
person.
when I heard
Never.
about that,
Never.
it just made me happy to see Sean Rouse in the same space as Willie Nelson. It's like, wow, that's a fucking excellent, like you could.
I mean, yeah, he's
you could,
one degree from Willie Nelson.
Willie knows Kevin Bacon too.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sure of it.
Maybe.
I got him into the two.
I mean, how could
The
they not?
Bacon brothers have opened for Willie Nelson a few times, probably hit the road together.
Fuck yeah, probably passed around a doobie.
Andy, do you know what that was for? Why
It was.
Sean was involved?
I think it was in. It was obviously probably in Houston or around there. It might
That
have
was
even
Austin,
been.
Texas.
Oh, it was in Austin. Okay,
Yeah.
so it was in Austin, probably part of that big festival. And I don't
Yeah,
know.
I said
think,
that too. Freedom
Yeah,
Fest
I don't know
in
what
Austin,
Sean,
Texas.
I have no
in
idea.
2011.
If Sean Rouse was a guest on here, I'd go, how did you get that hooked up?
You know, if you look closely, Michael Bean's in the background.
You can see
Yeah,
a
he's on
handsome.
the screen. Grease is on one of the screens in the background.
You know when they recorded that? William Howard Taft's birthday.
You're always good for a Taft fact, my friend.
Oh, there is a
Always
Taft
good for
fact
that.
in there. I think, fuck man. It wasn't William Howard Taft High School, was it? But anyway, I did find that out somehow.
You talking about
And-
Rydell High?
Well,
Grease?
maybe in something, but I got a little William Howard Taft fact in my brain, and I can't quite read there's a William Howard Taft High School, and it may be linked to Greece, or I may have just picked it up.
No,
in
that's
some other-
Rydell.
That's President William H. Rydell. This,
William Howard Taft.
oh,
God damn it.
I think Taft was the Taft Amendment.
He's a fat guy.
Yeah,
It's a little bigger.
yeah. Famous for it was like what, 1890, 1890, 94, 1890, 1894, William Howard Taft era.
I never let him go. If he asked me, if William Howard Taft asked me to scale a fence and break a law, You can count on me, man.
William Howard Taft High School is in the Chicago, Illinois public school district.
Okay, so somebody's connected to that school. I'm getting a C.
Which is interesting because I can guarantee you, as an Illinoisan, William Howard Taft was definitely not from Illinois.
I know. I'm gonna have to watch that.
Interesting that they would have a William.
I'm gonna
Howard
have to
Taft
watch
High School.
that 10 facts about Greece again to find out if it was in there. But it could have been like an actor. I don't know, man. Fuck it. Jeff Conaway.
When was William Howard Taft president, Chaille?
Well, before we get to that, the Taft High School, the film that was, the movie that was filmed there was The Amazing Spider-Man from 2012. And interestingly enough, this came up right underneath it. Filmmakers shot the movie Grease thousands of miles away from where they recorded in Venice High School and Huntington Park High School in California.
Where Nicolas Cage went to school.
I think he went to Hollywood High.
Shit.
So you asked me when was William Howard Taft president?
Yeah.
Let's see.
That wasn't his last.
March 4th, 1909 to March 4th, 1913.
And then what court did Willie sit on after that?
What?
This William, I call him Willie. He sat on the Supreme Court after.
This is a weird way to run this podcast into the ground, you guys. I just have to say.
We're going.
Yeah, let's go back to eat and cum.
Yeah, William Howard Taft.
He ate a lot of cum. Look at him.
He ate a lot of cum.
Nobody ever came into the Oval
That's why he took
Office when he
baths.
was eating cum. He refused, and he didn't want to acknowledge staff either.
That's why America was one of the last countries into World War One.
There's a lot more cum eating going on back in those days.
So much cum, he was just not paying attention to what was
Those
happening in the world.
guys, they'd go long periods without women, and then they'd have their beards and their hardships. You know, come on. I think that I think modern society is walked the tribe away from eating a hot load of jizz to survive, and I think we're weaker as a result. I should write a book on how to reclaim your masculinity by eating your own fucking seed. Christian men, you can't be relying on your women to eat it. You need to eat your own seed.
That's right. Reseed yourself.
Yeah.
Reseed your lawn, bro.
What does Monsanto do with the seed? They eat it and they scrub it.
Did you mean Monsanto?
Yeah, them too. And they owe me for my cancer as well.
I didn't have a guess at that one, Chaille.
Monsanto?
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, you can take the angle when people talk about pure bloodlines. They're talking, you think they're talking about incest? No, they're keeping it pure by eating their own seed. Yeah,
the difference between this and an ignorant podcast would be you guys would ride with my ignorance instead of pointing it out and correcting it.
But if you don't get corrected, you don't even have a chance.
I know. I would hate to be that guy.
We're not even trying to correct it. We're trying to translate it.
Yeah,
we're basically translators.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened with the Heaven's Gate cult. They needed Uday or whatever, Kusei, I forget. What do they call them? Doe and Ray. Ray needed Doe,
I think
or
you're
Doe
thinking
needed
of
Ray.
Saddam Hussein's children.
Yeah,
exactly who he named.
Who killed more?
Hussein?
Who killed more? Probably. I don't think.
I love that all the facts, like you do pay attention to current events and you know what's going on, but all those facts eventually swim around in a fucking pool, and then they just they blend into each other and they come out in weird spots.
It's like that fucking anyway. Yeah, it's confusing, but it's I realize, because I usually when I come home from chemo, I shut her down. I get real stoned. I turn on the off anything that's just redundant and quiet, and watch that till I wake up at 6 o'clock. It's just already.
Well, I appreciate you rallying the troops and doing this.
Yeah,
we had
one of them boys
things, and then some things, and this was when we had to do it. And you're a trooper for doing it, because I would have
did not take away your funny at all, Andy.
No, it's added to it.
Yeah,
it's added to it. Definitely hook an IV up into you and pumping you full of something every time.
What is that?
That's my chemo ball.
Wait, aren't you supposed to be wearing it?
It fits in a
his
fanny
port?
pack and it hooks to my chest.
But it's in your hand. Oh, okay. I
yeah,
didn't see
but-
the tube. I thought you
Yeah.
pulled it off for the
See, it's like a
podcast.
lemon ball, and then when I go
Yeah,
in,
it's like the
actually
lemon squeeze that you
one of those
put into a
lemons you
drink.
get from the grocery store.
this could have been ended poorly. The first time that I've yarded on
Yes.
this shit was today. There was a big pile of dog shit in my area, and it doesn't look like my dog's pattern of shit. So it must be neighbor fella, friendly guy. And I was like, motherfucker, that doesn't look like my dog's shit. But I got a shovel and I fucking I was gonna fling it, and I caught on my fucking tube, and I thought I ripped it out of my chest. So it could have been some real fucking nasty shit that would have had to happen to my neighbor.
Absolutely buried the lead today. You almost ripped out your cancer curing chemo tube by trying to flip some dog shit out of your yard with a
Shovel flip.
Yeah,
You're shovel flipping.
I
You
got
could have severed that line.
is usually I coil that cord up real nice and tight so it's not even hanging out, but this time I wasn't paying attention to it. And I know, but I'd be mad at my dog if whoever, if I got it yarded it out. I'd be
Wait,
mad.
you said it wasn't your dog.
I don't think it was, but she would have been I couldn't have taken her off the list, but she shits differently and smaller.
Everyone's a suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think his dog runs up and shits in my yard. So something's got to change around here. I guess I can bring it up when we finally do go over for snacks. So, hey,
Is that going to happen?
Yeah. How would that happen, Andy?
they invited us and it's a standing thing and then they want us to be friends. But then I know I got an ace in the hole with a Jehovah Witness.
Hey, Andy,
I'll bring
you
up
think
all
that
of
a guy
days.
that's you think that a guy that's flipping shit in your yard is going to invite you over for snacks?
No, his dog just run up and shit. He didn't. I flip it into blackberries.
Andy's a shit flipper.
Okay.
I just get it out of my yard into the blackberries that nobody could get to anyway. I was going to spray those blackberries just because they're encroaching and I'm wanting cancer to come, to blame it on somebody. So, but I won't do it because of birds, because I want the birds to enjoy the
People
blackberries.
eat blackberries.
Well, they would not where you can't pick them where these are.
Not these ones. These ones are all filled with dog shit.
Yeah, there's dog shit and occasional, that's where I had some.
That's better than a sign.
There's probably still some contaminants from when I firebombed the Yellow Jackets. Those I lit railroad
A real
ties
3
on
Mile
fire.
Island going over there, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
I couldn't
scar
even deal
across
with
the earth where that happened.
Silkwood.
I couldn't even do that shit now. I fucking singe myself. I'm like if I tried to burn out bees like I did last year, I burned my fucking chemo line.
Yeah.
And
You rip your chemo line out.
and I'm
sure
a slightly clumsier man. I'm trying to dance like Ggreg. I said Gurdeep. I said it right once and then I went to the correct. But I can't.
deep.
I can't really. I'm trying. That's how I know
You
if
gotta
I'm
work up
balanced.
to it.
Yeah. It always, you go, oh, I think I could do that. And then you watch it and like, fuck, no, I can't do any of that.
Not as easy as it looks. It looks easy. But
Yeah. You got to bring your
whole-
hands together. Clapping is the only one I can do. I can do that.
like Steve Martin at the beginning of The Jerk. To find his rhythm. It isn't easy to do, but Gurdeep is excellent. I fucking love that guy. I'm gonna meet that guy someday. Just seems like a really sweet man.
Well, I've hired him to be at the party, but I kind of lied to him about the budget.
He seems like the kind of guy that'll forgive
He
you.
won't care. Yeah, he'll forgive us.
Yeah.
We'll let him carry the orb.
Oh man, he would be great at that.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
on
shit.
that's on the wish list for next
He
year.
seems like a guy that thinks considers drugs currency anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Think
share
he
with
prob-
me. All right.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to think of him as a guy who would be on drugs, but it's also hard to think he's not. Like he's doing that dancing and happy.
You got to
shit,
do
like,
hallucinogenics.
he's gotta at
some
least be
point to do that
microdosing.
shit.
He was either raised in a incubator and never left it until he started dancing.
Some people get blissed out, man. They, like, first of all, I mean, I think all religions are a little bit weird and crazy because they're just ridiculous. But I think that of them, I think he's sick, right? I'm pretty sure he's of the Sikh tradition. And I think that they're, other than Buddhists, the least hypocritical of the religions. They're very much pacifists, and they very much live the kind of life they say they're going to live. Like, they're very happy and generous and helpful, and they help you for the, not for the reward that might come, but for its own act. And I think that he is, he's like one of the best of them at that. So I don't know, maybe he's a straight edge.
Where's he at in Alaska?
He's in Canada. He's in the Yukon, Gurdeep of the Yukon. But I don't know where exactly.
Does he want you to subscribe to his Patreon?
Probably.
I don't think I've never seen that aspect of it, but
I was got a TikTok. I'm sure he's got, everything's about the TikTok now, you guys. That's the whole thing.
Well, when I started seeing Stanhope on there,
that's what I mean.
I realized.
Jump the shark.
We've crossed the Rubicon.
Wow, it is kind of funzy in a jacket going over the shark. He wasn't wearing a leather jacket, was he?
I've been getting things on Instagram where I was following people who are not real like influencery, but just kind of interesting. People take, photographs of scenery and stuff, and then they kind of get bigger. And lately I've been getting notifications, and they're like, "Oh, you want to subscribe to my Instagram?" Like, what the fuck? Yeah, you'll get to see all of my reels if you pay money. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? This is getting out of hand. I don't.
Wait, Instagram costs money?
The reels on Instagram are a direct result of the popularity of TikTok.
Yep.
So, like, Instagram's trying to survive, but I mean, it's amongst the kids, it's over. It's done. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they're all finished. It's all about TikTok. I was reading a story about how most of the people under 25 years old get their news from TikTok.
Wow.
I don't know how that's possible. I don't know where on TikTok they're getting it from, but that's where they get it. Like, that's where it's all headed.
That's like getting your climate news from that semi-retarded kid that barks about the earthquakes and stuff. You know that one I'm talking about? There's a storm coming in for it. That's probably.
Wait, are you doing the Bob Dylan impression again?
Is that Bob Dylan again? Yeah.
Chemotherapy is.
I don't know. There's a storm coming in right now. Can you hum a few bars?
Shelter from the storm. Oh man, I can't think of his name, but he's like he gained fame by being all fucking all out of breath and talking about a volcano or some shit like that. It's just stupid. But that's like getting your news from TikTok. Is there even a Dan Rather on TikTok?
I think that TikTok's gotten so big now that even like, like it's not just
that's why
videos of nurses in hospital wards doing, choreographed dances and dumb shit like that. It's like people are going, oh, I'm going to subscribe to the fucking, CNN TikTok. Maybe not.
They're gonna play this clip when we have our TikTok issues with Andy. There he is.
Is that the guy?
Yeah.
My God.
I would totally watch that guy for the weather.
He's a good follow. For a link. Hold on.
Yeah, he's
like if James Inman had a gap between his teeth.
He better yell the weather at me, or I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, the original one is probably I was like he's one of my follows, and when I see him doing the weather report, I don't really take it as something I need to watch.
Oh wow!
I just watch it because it's stupid. But I don't know that he knows that it's
already.
yeah.
I'll follow this guy.
I think he's real earnest is what makes it work. You know, he might come across as dumb, but he makes up for it with just.
Is it the Colorado weather report, Andy?
Is there anything that says like a volcano or?
Hold on, let's see what's going on here.
I'm glad you said volcano because that's not what I thought you were going to say when you said, is there anything that says?
Here he goes.
Subscribers. Frankie forecasts weather all over the world, and this week he's warning us.
Massive blizzards headed towards Stanford, Colorado on Wednesday, March 13, 2019. It's going to bring up to 6 to 12 inches of snow or more. Winds are going to be really high in Denver, Colorado, Boulder, Colorado, and Fort Collins, Colorado. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be very strong.
Frankie's the best. And our 9 News weather team says Frankie's onto something here.
You know it's like a good storm system when Frankie is doing his weather forecast.
She knows that she's got the job locked up. She doesn't have any problem going, oh yeah, Frankie can do my job someday. Wink, wink. Because I got tits. But like if you were going, like, if you're the TikTok generation, you're going for a walk in Colorado, you might want to tune into that. Frankie's got just as much information. You don't have to sit through commercials, and he cuts it down. It's like he's racing against the TikTok.
Well,
to get as much to the
we talked about it before here. I'm glad that TikTok is killing everything. I can't wait to be completely off social media, and I have resisted getting TikTok. I will always resist it. And as soon as TikTok kills all the other social media sites, I'll just be done and I'll be happy. And I'll go back to the way I was before I followed any of this shit. And I was so much happier then. But I can't bring myself to delete Facebook and Twitter. I still use them. I can't get off the juice on my own.
I like to. It's really cool for me, Erickson. Like I socialize a lot, and that's my way of socializing with people. Other than that, I don't talk to anybody until I talk to you guys each week. So, I use social media, and then, I'm grateful to Stanhope for a fucking million things. But one of the things is that now I have people that will interact with me on a social media as needed whenever I fucking, weird personality feels like I need to do that. And it's I don't know, it's one of Maslow's fucking needs, I guess, is to interact with people. And this fulfills a basic requirement. So I'll miss it in a way, but I'm with you. When it's all canceled, I don't have to talk. I created an account. I had it for a few days. I just kept fucking going to Pornhub. So I just fucking was like, fuck that.
You're talking about TikTok? You created a TikTok account and then you just used it for porn?
No, it just had a bunch of chicks trying to make me have a boner, and I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm just gonna I didn't even plan on this. Fuck you. Right. And then it was a gateway drug. Yeah. So I got rid of it right away. So I created an account, but I deleted it. And with you, I'll never have it. So
I get a lot of phone messages from and they say, "Are you tired of wanking off alone?" or stuff like that. I got to go through, and there's like intermixed with my other messages. So I got to go through and be kind of insulted by, if you want to, that's not the way to juice me up.
Wait, you're getting text messages from Pornhub that say, "Are you tired?"
I don't know who it's from, man. I don't know.
He keeps replying, but they don't hit him back.
People I don't, you send me.
You should just be like, "Listen, bro, I'm getting tons of protein here."
I don't need you in the process.
This is how you start the cult, right here.
Yeah, I'm not sharing my protein with you.
Yeah, I get
survivalist.
They try all kinds of things, but it's like, lonely and that shit. Fine, man. I'll buy one. Just leave me alone. I opt out. I'm not searching for that right now.
What did you buy, Andy?
I don't know. I used to respond to them like just in stupid ways to make it a joke or whatever, but I think it just sends you around and get you on
with your credit card or through PayPal. I've
never purchased pornography or sex-related items outside. I'm old school, man. If I need a dildo, I'll go to the dildo salesman up the street. Mom and Pop's dildo Swaggins emporium up there. And I'll go get one, and I'll ask Grandma to come and show me what to, show me where the tickler goes.
Businesses, and I think that's nice.
And
that's the best small business commercial I've ever fucking heard in my life.
Bob and Pop's dildo
emporium. Oh man!
You want to go to, you want to go and look at them and get the weight on them suckers.
Yeah.
Because you might be the one wielding it. So you don't want something that's heavy, like,
Right.
What good is the perfect weed eater if it's too heavy?
No, he's right. Because when
you compare a dildo to a weed eater or a line trimmer?
No, he's exactly right, Chaille.
Yeah.
When you're weed eating and you've got that fucking, how the weed eaters have the thing where if you hit the ground with it, it fucking shoots out more.
The line advance.
If it's too heavy, then you keep constantly doing that and you're shooting out more fucking line. It fucks you all up.
And then you get tangled up in blue.
I don't know.
Grass.
Good night, everybody.
That actually sounded a lot like Willie Nelson.
Oh, shit.
Freeze pipe, everybody. So that's so to put a bow on it, freeze pipe, thefreezepipe.com.
Oh, is this the end of the commercial that we started 40 minutes ago?
Use the promo code Andy. Get 10% off of your next purchase at thefreezepipe.com. Look at that beautiful piece of machinery.
I have the thing.
Andy, at least use the freeze pipe when we're doing the ad spot.
I know. Well, I decommissioned it.
I'm gonna have to do a CG replacement. Put a freeze pipe in your hand.
It's one of my many plethora of pipes I use to. I'm John Popper, man. I got to have like 15 different mouth parts.
No, you say mine's freezing, but I need a hit, so I took this one. And boy, what a harsh toke! I can't wait for that.
That was a dream sequence.
Thing, though. I will say you got to take 5 from the freeze pipe because it gets you more higher than a regular.
Not
pipe.
at a job, not at a work site.
And one of my favorite added benefits of the freeze pipe is that I smoke fewer weeds.
Fewer weeds?
Well, I said that. I didn't know how to say it with Erickson here. When I thought of it, I said it right,
weeds.
but I had to switch it.
Less weed, fewer weeds. He's correct.
Higher. It is. It's like it gives you a good clean hit, but it's like serious when your friends broke out the bong and you took a big bong rip. Well, the freeze pipe, I'm an old liberal now, so I try to take smaller hits, but it does give you that high potency high, like you know. I'm a dirty hippie. I'll scrape the rock off of moss off a rock and eat it with some jizz.
Oh, now you will.
Some blueberries and some moss.
Now that you're out of jizz.
He won't scrape the moss off a rock and shit, but he will scrape the moss off a rock.
I got a lovely little huckleberry lichen cum stew that I make in the woods.
Would you put a fish head in your cum stew?
No, well, there's no way to sling it for bait, but I would use probably a little jizz to catch a fish. If I don't know. You can't really keep it on a fish line.
I don't know how you. Yeah,
I don't know how you jump from my question to that.
All right, what was the question?
Would you? Because Jenny and I watch Love and I would put the fish heads into a stew and then suck that shit all, boil it all down, and that way you
boil
get
it down
all
to
of
nothing.
It. And she says that's gross, and she's
gross,
some crazy shit being from Thailand. So I'm just curious if you would put a fish head in your cum stew.
Your huckleberry lichen cum stew.
Well, it depends on how much of a queen I felt like being, but because you're on camera there, and you can take a big load of jizz and drip it off of the moss right into your mouth without any seasonings or whatever, and you'd probably never have to buy another drink in most bars. gay bars for sure. Go, hey man, I saw you season 12 and Alive, and you ate that cum stew, and then you won $1 million. So.
Let me buy you a drink.
Yeah.
Read the copy, Chad.
Yeah. You know how I won $1 million? Because of that cum. It was so fucking full of protein.
The bigger the clouds. No, wait, hold on. Hold on.
I should have given you a warning.
I have to get my purse for one thing.
Oh, yeah, you can put your glasses on.
And I have to put my glasses on out of my purse.
This is the longest spot ever, man.
We'll edit this into something.
No, we won't.
Is this part of the Levine segment?
The biggest clouds, the coldest smoke, the smoothest experience. If you enjoy smoking cannabis or CBD, but hate the throat and lung burning, then you gotta check out today's sponsor, Freeze Pipe. Freeze Pipe makes a unique line of freezable pipes, bubblers, bongs, and more, engineered to cool smoke by over 300 degrees. Freeze Pipe is your answer for the smoothest way to light up, and you smoke fewer weeds. Secret is freezable glycerin chambers that come on every piece. Well, not the same way Andy does moss, but a different way.
Oh, that's how you do it.
In the freezer for 1 hour, and smoke passes through this icy chamber. It's instantly cooled for a dramatically smooth and chilly toke. Glycerin is a non-toxic fatty gel commonly found in foods and sweeteners. It freezes quicker than water and stays frozen longer. Putting ice in your bong is one thing, but chilling smoke through a frozen glycerin chamber will change how you light up forever. With a 4.4 star rating and thousands of reviews, check out Freeze Pipe's entire line of high-quality glass at thefreezepipe.com and use code ANDY for 10% off your order. That's thefreezepipe.com and code ANDY for 10% off. Shop today. Your throat and lungs will thank you.
Hey, hold on, Chad, just for the produce read, can you just give me the straight in go? Freeze Pipe, smoke fewer weeds. Everyone quiet.
Freeze Pipe, smoke fewer weeds.
There we go.
I almost had to make spontaneous noise like in church when they say everybody needs to be quiet for a minute.
I almost came into my own mouth when I heard all of that. That was beautiful.
My throat did all that after several Freeze Pipe hits that you witnessed.
Absolutely. And the best part about all of this, listener and viewer, is that we are doing this without getting any money from freezepipe.com. They gave us some money once because they heard us talking about their product. And now we're trying to get them to give us more money. So this is on spec, as they say. They didn't pay us to do any of this. We're just hoping that they'll see this and go, hey, we should send those guys over at Issues with Andy some more. They're like really talking about our shit. We should send them some more money. You guys should tell them to send us some more money.
Do you remember on Welcome Back, Kotter, when Freddie Boom Boom had a drug problem and all the other sweat hogs tried to shame him into admitting he had a drug problem, and Vinnie Barbarino was like, give me drugs. Give me drugs.
Give me drugs.
That's basically what we're doing to the fine people over at Freeze Pipe, because we need a party favors. Wink, wink. No, man. I'm sending.
Listen, I've already referred to myself as a weed fluencer, and I won't stop. And, it's already happened. And
can't stop, won't stop.
I'm glad Grandpa Stanhope is over on TikTok to educate the young generation. If they can listen long enough, they'll appreciate Doug through short bits, which they would never sit and listen to a whole special or anything, but they'll get those concise little bits, and Doug will fucking maybe influence the right people.
But that's absolutely true. And if anybody knows anything about Doug Stanhope and his comedy, they know it's those short, concise, quick little hitters that he loves to just
the zingers, they call them. All of his zingers.
Oh,
bang, 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 bang.
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
The
guy edited.
There's no building up with a narrative that works toward a larger motif. None of that. That's all for fucking.
We're gonna be going fucking man to man fighting for bottled water in a couple of years. We're gonna need anything they can leak in. Give us some fucking love. God damn it.
I'm leaving to go camp next to a spring I found in the mountains to try to shoot a deer tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw your GoPro of you on the 4-wheeler.
Yeah, I keep it's in my little Polaris Ranger. Yeah. I keep I've been playing with that. It's fun.
I thought you were going hunting in September. You're going hunting tomorrow in September.
I'm also
that's elk
going
hunting. He's going deer hunting.
Oh, that's elk hunting. All right.
Well, I'm going up north. I'll be turkey hunting possibly and deer hunting. So
God damn it. If it moves, it dies near Chad Shank. Fucking watch yourself.
I still have a turkey net around here.
A turkey net?
Yeah, like if you want to just sit in the deer blind or whatever, the turkey
Andy's
deck.
out there on his deck sewing a fucking gill net for turkeys.
Oh man, they would.
Okay, first of all, a gill net.
Pick apart his paracord.
I think we better aim for their feet if they got gills. You could throw a net over the top. We've talked about this, and if it's too hot or whatever, just come over here. We'll get our limit. I don't know how many turkeys you can take in the wild. But we can get at least a dozen.
Well, you can take as many as you can carry, right, Andy?
Well, I wouldn't want to boil.
It'd be wasteful not to
3
take
or 4 a day.
To shoot more than you could carry.
There's Chaille's brush with nature.
I'm sure they have a limit, Andy, where you are, and I'm pretty sure it's not a dozen. I mean, I don't know that, but I'm gonna.
Well, I got the urban turkey, so they probably have different rules here.
It's also, look, Chad, it's also a very vague sort of area of the law. I mean, you're allowed to defend yourself if someone comes onto your property. So if these turkeys come onto your property and they are a threat, I don't see how any.
I gotta
listen. I'm all for loopholes, and I am not the moral police. Trust me. The other day I went over and there was a guy had thrown out a bunch of melon and shit on the side of the road outside of his house, like produce and stuff, like javelina bait. And when I first saw it, I was like, what a dipshit. Because even though we're rural right here and there's a wash right over behind us, we've never had javelina up here at all, knocking over, not at all. And at first I was kind of like, what a fucking asshole. Why are you baiting them in? But immediately I was like, listen, you're not the fucking police. If a javelina comes in your yard, you're going to shoot that motherfucker and eat it. So, I mean, they can call it poaching, but guess where? I've never seen a game and fish warden in my motherfucking yard. So, right.
The pig come up on you.
Yeah,
exactly. So I agree with you. But legally, I try to obey the rules because they are very strict about, because I talked to Jenny before. I said, listen, I don't want to be a serial killer, but what if I just became a poacher? Because like hunting is the only positive thing. It makes me exercise. It's a really good thing for me all around. It's why I've embraced it the way I have. What if I just did it year round illegally? Like, I bet I could get away with that shit. It'd be exciting. It'd be fun. And I don't know. She said that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Especially to talk about it on,
But
that's why I don't do arson.
Well, here's the thing though. If you get busted for it, they will take your weapons, your vehicle, everything you have associated with that hunt, your money, they'll seize that shit. So it's not worth it.
What if you got
but I considered it.
What if you had like a bow that shot like an arrow with like a rubber, sticky end on it that like the kids use? So you could just be like, you could sneak up on a fucking animal and be like, and then it just goes doink and it sticks to them. And you're like, oh, I could have killed you.
To what end?
Yeah, that's
with a paintball.
That is the worst jerky recipe I've ever heard in my life.
Well, this saves you. This has the thrill of the hunt, but it doesn't involve.
I love the thrill of the hunt. It doesn't. But also, I'm out of elk already. So
really, wow. You ate a whole elk?
Hell,
You gave
yeah.
some away. But
Yeah.
Probably. But
Yeah.
that's a big animal.
Yeah. Well, and she was a young cow, so it wasn't as big as like an elk that she was small.
You should get I don't know, there should be a place where you could just wrestle a male deer without getting fucking gored. Like I could see Chad beating a deer to death. That would be more sporting, get up there.
You're fucking mean, man.
I don't know. The deer,
I'd do it though. I'd fight a deer.
A deer getting.
Oh yeah, there's videos of that.
What a cool way to die, man.
I'll bet a deer would be like, no, I'll take the fighting. I don't want no fucking arrow in my ass.
There's no way that the insurance company could say to Jenny that you committed suicide. That deer attacked him. He was defending himself and he died. That's how it went down.
And she'd have to get royalties on the commercial where the guy makes fun of me going, yep, we've seen that. This guy fist fighted and fucking elk.
And with the right
she'd
placement.
make more money on the YouTube video than she makes from the life insurance.
That's why I got the GoPro, so the end video will be there eventually. The only part of anybody's suicide that's of interest to anybody else. Make a video or shut up about it.
That's right.
Like I had that situation with the 4 dude deer that were trapped in my backyard. They were all stuck up there and I was trying to get them out. And at that time, if someone had been on the other stairs, because when I opened the gate or tried to open the gate, the deer were already ready to smash through it. I'd be like, fucking 4 deer and the staircase. And I would have allowed a fucking video crew in. It was a fucking deer, bro.
Deer fuck you up, man.
Yeah, they were fucking scary.
These deer that I'm going to be hunting they call the gray ghost. They're a species of whitetail that are super tiny and are known, like basically mountain lions and even coyotes hunt them nonstop. So they're the most paranoid fucking deer in the world. Man. So they're super hard to hunt, especially with a bow. So it's one of the hardest hunts ever that I'm getting ready to do. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
What do they call them?
Follow you do this?
Coues. COUES.
You're hunting with a rifle?
I have a rifle tag for October, but I can hunt starting Friday to September 8th with the bow. So I'm going to do that.
Nice.
All right.
And if I get one with a bow, then I don't get to get one with the rifle. You get one per year.
Well, that's not the way to talk, Chad, Poacher, Shank.
Listen, I've researched it, man. The ROI is just not there.
It's got to be a slipping.
You should just have a fake mustache for the second one. You're like, I'm not Chad Shank. I'm Charles.
I put a picture of one on my Twitter.
Dad Hanks
is that from there. Day before yesterday, I think. It was pretty recent. Of a female one when I was out scouting. Right up next to her. She's with all this monsoon rains and shit. It's these things look healthy as fuck. So I hope.
What's one weigh on it? Like 100 pounder?
Maybe 90 pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're tiny.
Petite.
Yes.
It's just so hard for me. I mean, look at that. Look at the eyes on that. Like that's just got that.
Oh, they're beautiful. And that's an ugly one.
Like
that's an ugly one.
That's why you got to lick their hearts.
Chad's like, I wouldn't even fuck that one.
Here's the thing though, because Jenny was the same way. I don't want to hear about it. She'll help me butcher it, but she's like, I don't want to see the video of you fucking killing it or whatever. Yeah. But I had to explain to her, like, okay, look, the Game and Fish regulates this. And they know the population of the deer. They use helicopters and stuff, and they monitor all these wilderness areas to see what herds are doing what.
What did Hitler call that?
They'll get what's called chronic wasting disease, and they'll die. They will starve to death. They will overpopulate. It will be a miserable death. And this just basically makes it so the hunters can get as much as their fair share, and the regular predators can get enough of their fair share. And then the hunters also get to shoot the predators, which probably is not fair, I guess. I wouldn't have an argument for that one, probably.
Now that seems like, hey, we both came to the same party to mac on these chicks, and now you're fucking stealing my wallet.
Yeah, there's no justification for that from me either. I'm with you. I don't.
And you've got Coke? Yeah,
because I could go hunt coyotes as much as I want right up the road from me. Well, less than a mile from my house, I could go set up a Bluetooth speaker under a tree and play from my phone the sound of a squealing rabbit and sit back under another tree and just pick off coyotes all day long like a dick. But I'm not going to skin them. I'm not going to eat them. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'd just be killing fucking coyotes for no reason. Right. And I don't want to do that.
Do you have foxes?
We have foxes, but they're more protected, I think, than coyotes. And they're a lot more rare than coyotes.
I was a total fox in middle school. I can read you account after account.
And then he turned into a coyote.
Yeah, I was cool. And I was a fox.
All right, let's jump into our recommendations.
Speaking of cool foxes,
this has been an amazing show, you guys. It's one of my favorites in a long time.
I got a little drunk, but I had a lot of fun.
I did too, but oh my God.
We got past that fucking Nicolas Cage face off, which I was dreading. I was sick when I saw the movie, realized that I couldn't back fully.
You know what? I mean, you guys everybody gets to make their own decisions.
Yes, you're right.
I mean, you can watch Nicolas Cage be amazing. You can watch Pedro Pascal.
Oh, so we get to make our decisions as long as it's in line with yours.
No, you can. No, the only Chaille, honestly, the only thing that I think you're wrong about is not watching the movie all the way through. That's it. Yeah. You don't have to like
I'm with these guys in one way, Erickson, is that I hope everybody doesn't like it. That way I can buy it for $8 next month, $20 because I want to put it in my iTunes library because it'll be a rewatch.
I don't want that to happen because I need some fucking love on social media. I took it in the ass so hard on social media just today. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Well, I don't think anyone should.
I got fucking mad on Twitter today. I commented on some guy's tweet about something a couple days ago, just while I was like scrolling through shit. I didn't even remember doing this, but the guy's name was Gunther Eagleman, and he had like a fucking the blue stripe flag, you know, and like he was like an American, and his name was Gunther Eagleman. And I was like, oh my God, I am checking into every hotel I ever check into from this point forward, now and forever, as Gunther Eagleman. And I did, and then I left it. I went away. And then
I saw that tweet. What was wrong with that?
Nothing. 3 days later, Gunther Eagleman fucking smacked me down like a bitch and then blocked me, and all of his MAGA friends piled on me, and I couldn't respond to any of it because I was blocked. This fucking guy, he was like, it was funny. He goes, well, I hope you don't check into the same hotel room I'm in there with your mom while she's sucking on my fucking MAGA juice or whatever the fuck he said, something like that. And then he blocked me. So I didn't see any of this until after I was already blocked. And by the time I saw it, there were 100 people who were all like, you know, everyone's picture was like, you know, MAGA Patriot 4X with like 50 American flags in their name. And they're all like, you showed that fucking cunt. And I'm like, what's happening here? Gunther, I just wanted to be friends with you, bro. Why are you blocking me? And I just took a beating all day long.
Tracy says Gunther blocked all of your followers too.
Everybody. I tried to get Lipsky. I'm like, I posted something about it. I'm like, I can't follow him. And then Lipsky was the first one. He's like, maybe I need to check in on this. And I'm like, oh, perfect. If ever there was a job for Travis fucking.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
This is it. And then he comes back with a screenshot. He's already blocked. He's like, yeah, I think he blocked you and all of my followers.
Oh,
and then he's just on a thread taking credit for fucking bagging on me.
I wish I wasn't blocked from that thread, because I would reply to you with that meme that said, well, if it isn't the consequences of my own action.
I was able to see everything because I just jumped on the Issues with Andy Twitter and followed it all.
Oh yeah,
on
you
there.
can control them that way.
Yeah, but I didn't comment on it. But also, it was just funny. I was just like, I was at work and I'm like, I'm just taking a fucking beating over here, and I didn't even know it. Like, everybody in Megaland had so much fun at my expense, and all I said was, literally, all I said was, I'll be checking into every hotel that's gone through Eagleman. I was complimenting him on his badass name.
He scrolled through the rest of your tweets and then responded from there for certain. But that is fucking hilarious.
He buried me.
But it is chicken shit, because
dunked on me.
I would put my money on you. Don't block. Like, I mean, he doesn't know that you're the road goddamn champion. You can knock me down, but you're not gonna knock me out. I got shit for you.
I said to him, I'm like, he said, I can't believe you disparaged my dear departed mother, a police officer who died clubbing looters in the George Floyd protests. Like, that's not cool, bro.
You want to keep that dialogue going.
They'll never see it.
They'll never see it.
I know.
We all got blocked. But the point is, I took a fucking beating today that I didn't even know I was taking. So and then this whole unbearable weight of massive talent thing that Chaille's wrong about. I've been taking a beating on that as well.
Well, I can start.
I need to turn it around. I need to win.
It
doesn't matter if I'm playing some fucking, shitty team that's got no wins. I just need to fucking put a W on the board.
You got a good one tonight? You want to go first or
let me go first here, because I know Brett's going to disagree with this adamantly, but I found it interesting, and it's a deep dive into a little known band called the Rolling Stones. I think it has that in the title.
This has a smell of Andy didn't do his homework.
No, I did. I watched the first one was about the lead singer, and his name is Mick.
Oh wait, so you're legit talking about the documentary about
Epix movie channel has it.
Yeah,
it's a 4-parter. The first episode was about Mick Jagger. Second one, Jesus Christ.
And what is it? A documentary?
It's I think it's called My Life as a Rolling Stone.
My Life as a Rolling Stone.
Yeah. So Keith Richards was the second one, and I guess it'll be their 4 episodes. But it seems like a pretty current interview with him. So
pretty recent.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but I saw a thing about it, and it's Mick and Keith and Ron Wood and Charlie Watts.
Bill
Wyman's not featured in it. And he hasn't been in the band for 20 years.
I think he's dead too.
He might be dead.
Yeah.
But Charlie Watts is also dead.
Yeah, Charlie Watts just died. Bill Wyman died a few years ago.
Yeah.
So it's a 4-parter with them. I don't think they play a lot of music in it, but it's.
But you liked it?
Yeah. I learned and shit about. I mean, the whole thing with Keith Richards about him being such a survivor. He just had a pretty long and fruitful run as a pretty successful heroin addict.
Yeah.
And people associate that with, he cheated death or whatever, but he was just really good at it. He's really good at guitar, and he was really had a good run on heroin. He didn't seem to go into the woe is me moments with heroin that he's in current life. So he must have had a pretty good run with it.
It's like any drug though, right? Like we all know of tons of people who can no longer drink or no longer do coke or no longer do whatever the drug is, because once they started doing it, they couldn't fucking stop. And whatever the drug is, if you can just do it and if you can just open that window a little bit so that you get the open window fun of what that drug is without just fucking throwing it wide open so it all just rushes over you and fucking overwhelms you, then you can keep doing that drug. Yeah. But that's the key, and also Keith probably, also don't forget Keith Richards and Mick Jagger and their manager used to in the 70s go to Mexico and get in complete blood transfusions they would be so fucking addicted to heroin, and they would be in like a heroin cocaine cycle, that they would be so addicted to heroin that to get off of heroin, they would go to Mexico and they would get hooked up to, they would have all of their
like a dialysis machine,
complete dialysis. And they would come out of it like, oh, I'm not addicted to heroin anymore. Then they'd go on tour.
That's why they stayed together. Whereas the Beatles couldn't hack it. Rolling Stones are getting blood transfusions.
Yeah. They're an amazing fucking crew.
And just the way, I mean, you know, the archival stuff, you know, I mean, obviously both of them chaps look quite a bit different as they aged out or whatever, but it's just kind of fucking cool that, I mean, Keith Richards in particular seems like a guy, if you're just interested in sitting and listening to the music or talking music or whatever, he would be like a fucking really cool hang.
Mick
Not
is
for
cool,
him.
dude. Mick, I've been that's been my favorite band for a long time, but I will tell you this, everyone always gravitates to Keith Richards, who's amazing, but Mick Jagger is my favorite. I think Mick Jagger is the beating heart of the Rolling Stones. I think without him, they would have broken up at probably the same time as the Beatles. He held that band together for the most of it, and he still holds it together. And he's still, if you watch the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger is 80 years old and he's still being Mick Jagger. It's incredible.
He did the right thing, as he made he danced the way he danced, and he's never wavered.
Yeah.
And so he's still doing the Mick Jagger
chicken
he does it like that's in his wheelhouse, like he's net. So you know, like if
he's a badass, man. And he's written some amazing songs. Like there was a chunk of time when Keith was so fucked up that he couldn't hold it together at all, and Mick Jagger was writing most of the songs. They're like mid 70s. There's a lot of Mick Jagger, because Keith would show up and just like he would play his guitar parts. And
I think they were recording at that time like by themselves in the studio. They weren't hanging around like as a group doing a bunch of stuff.
Well, Mick would hang around because Mick was the one who was keeping it going. But Keith would show up, record his
not show up.
Or when he showed up, he'd just do his parts and leave, you know.
I don't know. I think back what you said, I think it'd be tough. Like if Keith decided to just quit, I think it would be tough for the Stones to keep going without it. Like if he quit or if he had to drop out for medical or he died, that'd be one thing. But if they broke up, like he left the band or Mick left the band, I think that would be the end of the Rolling Stones.
Well, Keith died, then Mick would maybe do some like his big gigs where
dying is a little bit different than like they can no longer share the stage together. Like
that's what I was going to say.
Tyler, like Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. You know,
whatever problems they had, like these interviews were not that long ago with them, and it almost feels like a marriage that went through some shit, but they come out on the other side with a bigger appreciation of each other.
Because they were both addicted to, as much as they were addicted to cocaine and heroin, they were also addicted to the fame and money that being in the Rolling Stones brought them. And they were both smart enough to know that if they stopped doing it, neither one of them would have anywhere near the
symbiotic relationship for sure.
Absolutely. They're like, well, let's just do this. There was a time during the 70s when they hated each other so much that when Keith would sing whatever song he was going to sing during a concert, whether it was, he had a couple songs he would like sing
Walk Before I Run.
One song on each album, right? Like Happy, but when he would sing his song, it was in a contract that Mick had to leave the stage. If you see old footage of the Stones, Mick had to leave the staging. Like they were that petty about shit, but like fucking Tammy Wynette and George Jones.
And by the way, leave the stage, go in the fucking back, do your rail.
Sure Mick was like,
do a quick transfusion or whatever you fucking do back there, and then go back out.
Right. But it's just weird to be that much of a bitch about it.
Afraid he's gonna mean mug him on the high parts.
But he's gonna do his funny dance and pull focus.
Pull away attention.
Pull focus. That's what Keith didn't do. All right, I'll do mine, and it'll be maybe slightly a bit of a letdown after all the buildup, but it's just because I haven't.
You watched the Nick Cage movie again?
I watched it again. I didn't like it. Go for it. Thought it was kind of stupid. actually. That first scene, kind of overdone.
Little over the top.
Little over the top. I want to reiterate, I had this, I think maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago as my recommendation, but I've dived deeper into it. Watch The Rehearsal on HBO. The new Nathan.
Oh, Nate, you said that last week.
I just said that. I said that last week.
I know, but why are you?
I haven't watched anything else, Chaille. I work 12 hours a fucking day, and
all right, I get it. I get it.
What do you like in the snack machine?
But you didn't say I said last week. You said before, like it wasn't just.
I didn't know. I couldn't remember when I recommended it. I didn't know.
It wasn't your fault. I know. I assumed that.
So let me reiterate last week's pick. I would like to double down on last week's pick.
Oh man.
The Rehearsal, Nathan Fielder. Watch it. Read it. Learn it.
I watched the first episode and I'm not familiar with the guy.
Oh, you didn't like that either?
No, I'm just saying it.
Don't worry,
I
got a
appreciate it.
recommendation.
I'm not sure.
A lonely girl who fucking, makes a fucking mailbox out of fucking.
I'll give it 3 episodes and I think I'll like it, but I just don't get it yet. I'm not saying I don't like it.
Well, as long as we're repeating everything we said last week.
If you don't get it by the
it's a little bit slower than.
This is how the Beatles started falling apart, guys. I'm just saying.
I don't want to be in the room when Chaille makes his recommendation.
So Willie,
we'll miss a good one.
Willie, what got you into music?
So you got a lot of kids.
Started.
A lot of kids.
So are you on the circuit?
Like you play guitar, right?
Like writing songs about being on the road.
I'm looking for the picture. The one I got was a bank shot off of last week's recommendation of Audible podcast of JB Smoove. What was that podcast?
Funny
like me.
My way.
Funny my way. So that when I was looking for that, I couldn't find it, and I eventually called or texted Chad, and he let me know what it was. But in trying to find Funny My Way, I found a podcast that JB Smoove was doing with another dude, an improv comic named Miles Gross, and it's called May I Elaborate. And basically they have like a formula. They go through about a half hour long each one, and it comes out every Monday. It's a Coco production, so it has to do with what's his name, Coco
Diaz,
Conan O'Brien. Sorry. Coco. He produces a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, this is
Team Coco.
Same one as that Funny My Way.
Yeah. So I'm like, wow, there's a bunch of stuff. JB Smoove's got some stuff going on. This thing is funny. They basically pick an inspirational quote of some kind, and then JB Smoove just starts talking, and they just keep going. And Miles tries to keep him on track. Sometimes they have a guest, sometimes they don't, and it's just those two talking, and it's fucking hilarious. And I've been doing a lot of driving, so I'm finding these things that I get a little jag on, and that's it. That's it right now. I'm trying to get through all of those.
Yeah.
And they had a guy that Erickson was talking about recently on Ggreg something. Ggreg Garcia. The Ggreg. What?
I've never not enjoyed anything.
Oh, I forget it. That was someone else I was talking about.
Like he did those Caesars ads.
Yeah.
Those were really good, funny ads, and I don't think they would have been if he wasn't in them.
Yeah,
Right.
So it's May I Elaborate, and it's on all the channels, Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on Google Podcasts.
He's great. It sounds like what you just described sounds like Issues with Andy with two people, basically.
Yeah.
It's like JB Smoove is Andy, and the other guy just tries to fucking steer it back onto the road and just let him keep talking.
Miles is great. He is so good because JB Smoove is nuts sometimes.
Yeah.
And then he just reins him in or gets him to elaborate more on what he's talking about. So it's a great
Right.
podcast. So that's
Perfect.
my recommendation. Mr. JB Smoove.
All right. Well, that's definitely better than a drifter building a water tank.
Well, that
Chad?
drifter is a guy who made a lot of money, and that was a very emotional especially after what happened because of the rain that
real
killed all the
roller
roads in
coaster for
Panama.
you, wasn't it? It was a real roller coaster. It was really.
Oh, are you talking about
gripping.
gravel? Gravel?
Huh?
You're not talking about the guy in Darwin.
No.
Okay.
Talking about Cerro Gordo.
Okay. Because this guy lived in a water tower too.
This guy doesn't live in a water tower.
He just built a water tank. He didn't live in a water
He
tower.
transported a water tower from Fresno up into the mountains of Cerro Gordo.
You didn't watch the movie?
You didn't watch the YouTube clip of them moving it?
Yeah,
And
it's
then
that
2
guy.
days
He
later,
doesn't
it
drink
poured
water.
rain.
I saw it.
I missed
The
that.
unbearable weight of massive water. It was incredible.
Big water.
Mine is going to be a I guess should start fishing for another what do you call it, sponsor, because I got another Audible suggestion.
Right.
So, and it's if you're a member like I am, because I got almost 300 books in Audible, so I've been doing it for a long time, and it's if you're a member, you get all kinds of free shit. Well, one of the free ones that recently came out is one called Space 1969. And it is by Bill Oakley, who apparently was involved
Sunglasses guy.
With like Simpsons, Futurama, Portlandia.
I do know who that is, Bill Oakley. Yeah,
Not the sunglasses guy?
No, he's not the sunglasses guy. Different Oakley altogether.
Sunglasses.
I do know who Bill Oakley is. Actually,
Yeah?
now that you say that, yeah, he's a producer and a writer of Simpsons.
So it's like the premise is Kennedy didn't die. He got shot and blew his eye out, and he went on to become a president for the third term, and it's all focused on space. And Richard Nixon becomes a manager of Pizza Hut on the moon. It's fucking the most ridiculous story ever, but it's like a fully narrated cast, not a
just one guy reading a book,
kind of. It's not like an audio book. It's
Would
like
you like red sauce on that?
Like a radio play.
Yes,
kind of.
yes. And there is a thing that you have to kind of get used to, and maybe it was just me, but I don't know if you guys watched that Russian Doll on Netflix.
I did watch the first season.
It's that chick is the lead kind of character, and she kind of, to me, it just seemed like she was yelling all of her lines in a Joan Rivers accent or impersonation.
Yeah.
So that was kind of hard to get over, like just grating for a little bit.
Listen,
but the
all
whole
women
story
sound
was
like
worth
that
it.
to me. So
yeah, you know what? That might be it. I don't
Yeah.
listen to a lot of different women.
I like that girl, but yeah, I can.
It grew on me. It was all right after a while. It was to the point because I was like, I'm gonna recommend this. It's funny,
Yeah.
and then I was like, this is fucking annoying. I'm not, but it won out.
All
So
right.
Space 1969. If you're a member on Audible, it's free.
Right on. Natasha Leone, there she is.
Yes.
All right, beautiful. And thank you guys for being out there. If you have any thoughts, jump onto the YouTube comments or to the Patreon comments. If you're not a Patreon subscriber, please subscribe to our Patreon. It's just $5 a month, and you'll get all kinds of extra bonus stuff. We just did a meeting of the board like a week or two ago, and that was fun for a couple of hours. We talked to comedians on Patreon. We do the four of us with a comedian on Patreon. We just did an interview with Billy Wayne Davis not too long ago. So that's the kind of stuff you get on Patreon, just $5 a month. Join us over there, and help us out. We would love to have you. If not, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would love it if you did that, because it's just a matter of time before the great power plant upstairs turns off the juice and we retreat to the black bit of nothingness from whence we came.
We're out.
Thank you.